Yeah, I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky to your camper or cabin in the woods, or just couch surfing or relaxing on your lazy boy. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, and get yourself some tea or coffee or some lemon water like I got myself here, because you're tuned in to Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Remember, guys, disclaimer, we do not offer investment advice, nor do our guests. And we do not know anything, and we can't even read. This video should never be viewed by anyone. All right, guys, welcome to Mike in the Night. People of the night, I want to thank FU and Linny Poo for sending me $5. All right, that's already like $10. And that $10, let me tell you, that's enough gas. It's about 20 minute of driving of gas. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. It all adds up in the end, and it all helps out. I'm going to have to replace the fan on this computer. It's making a lot of noise, so this money will go right towards that and getting that fan fixed. It's noisy, and the bearings, I think it's are shot. And it happens. And that's the cost of maintaining an operation. There's always something that's going to cost something. So thank you to my super chatters tonight. Whoa, Blunt News sent me $5. Hype, hype, hype. Feeling good tonight? Feeling good, that's fine. People of the night on Mike in the Night. If you feel all right, whoa. Thank you. That's $15. That's enough to get me to Hope, BC. So thank you, Blunt News. All right. It's enough to get me to Hope, British Columbia from Merritt, BC. Check your map if you don't know where that is. All right, guys, let's do a quick channel plug. And let's get the show rolling, because you are on the best. I don't know how long. So, guys, I'm going to let you guys know, and I'm going to kind of throw this out there now. I don't know how long the channel is going to be up. I've been getting emails from YouTube. They're warning me about my content, but there's nothing wrong with my content. That's the problem. If I can't, look, you guys know I try to be as vanilla as possible. I try to tame you guys as much as possible and calm you guys down when you come on the show. I try my best, okay? Now, the problem is I don't know how long they're going to allow us to freely speak, right? So that is a major, major issue for us. So we're going to have to find another platform and rebuild again from scratch. But that's okay. I backed up most of my series that we have on this channel. But, man, if we can't even talk about something that's on the mainstream media and kind of talk about it. We're not even breaking stories here. Wait, we've broken a few. Okay, I'm not trying to brag, but we have broken a few stories here on the channel from call-ins. Not by me, by call-ins. People calling in and breaking a story on the channel. And then 2 weeks later, it's on the news. That's okay. That happens sometimes, right? Because people on the ground all over are going ahead and informing us on what's happening, and then finally it hits the news. But we're not breaking news. We're just taking what's happening and what's being thrown at us and kind of figuring it out. That's all we're doing. We're not changing water into wine here. We're not. Anyways, so let's go to a quick channel plug, and we're on our way to tonight's show with headlines. All right, let's go into article scan here. All right, let me take these damn things off. I can't see a damn thing. All right, so here we go, guys. Mike in the Night tonight. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to set your reminders for next week's Mike in the Night Shattered Dreams. And then I think the Mike in the Night after that is going to be on January 23rd, the fall of the American Empire. We could probably do something according to that. If you guys like, we could do that and, kind of the fall. We don't know what to name the shows because in an hour, things change. All right. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook if you want to follow me on Facebook. Facebook has respectively, after emailing them, upgraded me from a store like my personal page, from a store to a news personality. And I mean, what can you ask? I mean, you can't ask for more than that. I'm happy. Guys, don't forget to pick up something on Teespring if you're bored. Teespring link on the top of the channel. There it is. Lots of Raven mugs. All kinds of cool stuff for Mike in the night. And guys, Parler, what's happening to Parler? We're going to talk about it tonight on the show. The death of Parler. Lights are going to go out on Sunday on Parler. And this is basically, this is growing exponentially. Parler is one of the fastest growing apps in the last couple of months, since everyone's been being kicked off of Facebook or censored on Facebook for talking about current events around them. So this is my Parler. I don't know how long Parler's going to be up, guys. I don't even know anymore. I don't know what to tell you guys, and I'm being straight up. Guys, don't forget to pick up something on my eBay store. I want to thank the folks that have picked up stuff in the last week. It all helps out. Guys, I got all kinds of cool stuff here. It's more collector stuff. So if you're looking for Game Gear games or weird World of Warcraft toys, and come and check me out there on that. And don't forget to check out Art by Dano, please. Not your typical art. Art by Dano, check him out. He's really good. artbydano.net. And don't forget to check out Market Education. He's at 8 subscribers. Let's get him over 100. He does livestock trading. He is a regular on the show. Check him out and check out what he's got to say. Trading Live, there he is there, Trading Live, Market Education. So hopefully he will educate us on how to make money. And it's kind of important right now. Kind of important in the situation we're in, especially for home. If you can learn how to day trade or learn or get some advice, it's a good thing to actually understand these things. And it's been working out for me and my family, right? So it's worked out for me. Okay, guys, let's go into deep article scan and let's head off to news or headlines, right? So here it is. Amazon boots Parler off its website hosting service, psyched to go dark on Sunday. Sunday is, I think, a couple of hours away. I don't know what's going to happen. I think once the ban takes effect on Sunday, the website, which as of the moment is still up, will be offline until it finds somewhere else to host it. So there it is. Amazon's booting off Parler. And that is very bad news. And then they're going to boot off Zero Hedge. They're going to boot off RT. They're going to, unless Parler goes to a Russian distributor or something to actually let them host their website. It's disgusting. So let's go over to, I got Parler open. So here's the article. Amazon. So how many people are on Parler? Could somebody, there it is right there, Parler. That's what it looks like. I've been on it. It's like Facebook. And it's actually, like, if you look at the people that are on there, they're very conservative. They're not conservative about, they just want to exercise their rights and freedoms that are posted in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or whatever. They just, you could tell by the people the way they post or what they're talking about. It's showing what people are truly concerned about in America and parts of the world that people go on there too. So let's take a look at Parler. So I got Parler open. So let's look at the news feed. So here it is. This means millions of people will be without a way to communicate since Facebook and Twitter and Instagram have mass banned conservatives this week. Tomorrow, Amazon is shutting down all Parlers. This is coming from one of the administrators here. So this is what you have on Parler. I'm going to show you guys. North Koreans, Kim vows to boost nuclear-armed countries' defense capabilities. Okay. And then you got Dinesh D'Souza here posting, Dolly Parton posting on here. Dolly Parton just told the world she has a secret that she won't reveal until 2045. And then you got, what else you got? Walls work now. Huge barrier built around the Capitol building. Now, when I saw that huge wall barrier built around the Capitol building, I think they're going to modify that because once the poop starts to hit the fan with the new administration and it gets real tough, that wall was already there because of Trump. So they have a reason to have a wall there. Everything's put into place for a specific reason. Chinese Communist Party says Biden a new window of hope. So China is going to take over the rest. And guys, I am sticking to my guns. Middle America housing is going to jump from 40 to 100% this summer. Middle America. So we're talking about Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Mississippi, places like that, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. The price of housing is going to go from up 40 to 100% because of people mass exiting the major cities because of affordability issues and Chinese corporations buying up. Chinese corporations bought up a big chunk of Seattle after Vancouver put on the foreign buyers tax in Vancouver, Canada. Everybody went to Seattle and Toronto and screwed up those two markets and left them in the dust. So right there. So you're going to see Amerifornia. America will be called Amerifornia. I coined that term because it's going to turn into an entire California. Rush Limbaugh and Democrats recoiling in fear and quaking in their boots that Donald Trump would unleash damaging documents. Exclusive TGB interview, John. So this is coming from Parler. This is what we have in Parler. So this is Parler. There's nothing on Parler that's promoting anything that's going to do anything to anybody. So Biden's pick for attorney general can't be more anti-constitutional. So was he looking for Obama now? So there it is right there. There's nothing on here. There is absolutely nothing on this page on Parler that they're talking about election fraud, and then there's the shredded ballots that they found. So, anyways, America's finished, guys, and I'm not trying to be, the bearer of bad news or trying to. America's done, guys. Now, when America can't hold civil elections and actually have the people to go out to vote, when America needs to change the rules on elections and needs to change the system into mail-in ballots and bizarro things, and guess what happens? America is no longer. It's democracy. It's built and founded off democracy is gone. It's over. America. It's done. Amerifornia knows how to party, and get ready for Amerifornia. You're gonna see, just like in California, it's gonna be all over America. So we're gonna change Texas to Texafornia. We're gonna change Florida to Florifornia. We're going to change Arizona to Arifornia because it's all going to be the same everywhere you go across America. And any little places like Idaho, I'm going to move to North Dakota, those places will get gobbled up either by moving migrants that are moving around the states trying to find affordable housing, or foreign entities that come, just like they bought up Seattle, Vancouver, Toronto, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland, London, England, all kinds of places. See Xavier in the comments saying everything runs in cycles. Yep, that's correct. MD says, I think ETH will go up. So a lot of discussion here. A lot of discussion here in the comments, guys, about crypto. Everybody, calm down. Calm down. Relax. We know crypto's going up. I bought all those bit farmers. I bought a bunch of bit farmers. I just randomly picked a pile of them. I don't even know what they were connected to. That's how bad the trading is right there. Oh, is crypto? Oh, I just bought a bunch of bit farmers. I bought Hut Mining. Look at Hut Mining, how high it's gone. I bought it at $3, and Hut Mining is like at $6-7. Everything that I've bought that's directed to cryptocurrency is gone up thousands of percents. I can't even fathom it. My family's grateful. I'm grateful. But the question is, then you make money, then what do you do with it? If you're locked down, you can't do nothing, you can't travel, you can't. And these border closures are set up purposely to stop educated people from leaving specific countries, from bringing their skill trade to another place, right? Okay. So we got Blunt News says, imagine an uncensored Mike Martin show. Woo, buddy, it would be an instant hit. But the thing is, it would just, it's the deplatformation of things is gonna get. I don't even know what to say to you guys. It's like, how can I say it? No. It's not. I don't know what to say. How can I say it to you guys so I don't get in trouble? Or you watching don't get put on a social credit list for watching this show. Wait, 20 years ago, people would look at me and say, He's too vanilla. It's boring. 20 years ago, people would look at this and say, who the hell watches this crap? Like, he's not even getting into stuff. I can't get into stuff. Okay? I can't get into stuff. All right, let's move on. So that's Parler. This is what Parler looks like for you guys. I just don't see anything. All right. Stop the big tech censorship. You're not going to stop anything. Unless you start creating from scratch your own clouds, broadband, you start doing it from scratch. I think Parler, I would actually pay $2 a month. I would pay $2 a month, $24 a year for Parler, just to have something for me to post on. I would pay $2 a year for Parler. I mean, $2 a month. I would pay $2. I'd pay $24 a year for Parler. If you get 1,000 people, that already could give him some hosting space. And if you get a 10,000 people, 100,000 people, that would be good enough to hire a few people and actually start getting people on our side. Because there's nothing here. The reason why I'm on Parler is because there's nothing here. Okay, they have shredded ballots. Oh, the shredding ballots here, and the FBI's got photos of it and stuff. Now they want to remove it so people could think that, come on, guys. Like, I mean, if someone's caught red-handed doing something, it's almost like people, don't want to apologize for getting caught anymore. Back in the day, people would apologize for getting caught. And they don't apologize for the actions they've taken. They apologize for getting caught. And that's scary. Because now they don't even want to apologize for getting caught. Now something happens, they don't even whoa. Okay, 3 people are charged with assaulting a police officer. Officers entered a family home after being told too many people were inside. Again, if the police need to come in to check and count and do a head count, guys, I think it's the police's fault in here. You will, I don't think he's assaulting him. He's just grabbing the guy's arm and pulling him, get the hell out of my house. So, and then look at this guy. This guy's standing outside, and there's 14 cops around him taking notes and stuff. Yeah, this Gestapo boys. Yeah, you stand around you. We're going to give you orders. There's 7 of us. What are you going to do? Yeah. There they are over there, police everywhere, making sure people are complying with the masks. Wrap up them seats. Wrap up those public benches, because people can't get together and talk. Because when people get together, they start to tack. And this is going against the freedom of assembly right here. This is against freedom of assembly. So there it is. Number of infections per day. Again, more garbage. More garbage. More garbage. More garbage. South African burns down 5G towers over COVID-19 fears. Good. This is good because they're protecting, or if they feel something and they think something's happening, they act upon it. And you know what? It's basically taking the money out of the pockets of the big tech companies, right? Apple and App Store, Google Play suspend Parler. This is all over. And this goes to show right now. And the reason why they're suspending Parler and banning Trump off of all of these platforms is because he has very damaging material that he does want to release to the public. And God forbid somebody tells the truth once in a while. The American empire has fallen, though Washington may not know it yet. It's over. It has been over for a while now. So here it is. There's faking news going everywhere. Do you realize now what you have done? U.S. gets the kind of democracy it championed overseas. So here it is, and then there's even in Spanish. Look, even from Venezuela, there's a letter here. El gobierno de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela expresan su preocupación con los hechos y violencia en este llevado en cabo de la ciudad de Washington, Estados Unidos. So, and it looks like that violence and this and that, and one of the major perpetrators was at 5 other rallies across America as America was burning to the ground. Nobody looks at that, and nobody, discusses these major violent burn downs. We'll call them burn downs. You had them in Wisconsin, you had them in Oregon, Portland, you had them in Seattle, and nobody, anyone brings that up. I think that Colin guy, that football player guy, I think he plays American football, the sport where everyone pushes each other around. That guy was honored with $3 million for honoring the protesters in those cities. Those protesters are anti-COVID catchers. So if you're protesting and you're burning down the city, you will not get COVID-19. You can get it. You cannot get it if you're protesting. But if you're at a Trump rally, you will. So you start to see the two sides of the thing. You see, I'm not trying to show, try to be pro-Trump. I'm just kind of showing you guys the two sides of the coin here. Exclusive. Wife of perfectly healthy Miami doctor at 56 who died of a blood disorder 16 days after getting the Pfizer-COVID vaccine is certain it was triggered by the jab, as during Giant investigates first death was suspected linked to shot. I think it's more than that, but because this one had to go mainstream and they had to kind of cover it, well, you know what? They have to kind of talk about it. And Buddy says here, James Clyburn says, somebody on the inside of the Capitol was complicit. Of course there was. How could you just walk into a Capitol building like that during, you just walk right in and waltz in through the side. Hey, look, they left the side door open. Curfew now in effect across Quebec. Heavy police presence accepted. Get used to the Gestapo. They're here. You put your masks on like a good citizen. You listen to your leaders that have been sucking off, that have been sucking off the tit for years, off the taxpayers' tit for years. Despite no lockdown, mask mandate, Florida has the same hospitalization rate as a 2018 flu season. I'm telling you guys, if they lock us down in February and I have to shut my store down because they might do that, I'm going to see if I could take the family and go, because the kids can't go to school. They can't just go to Florida for 2 months. It's cold here. We'll go to Florida for 2 months. Just stay in Florida. There's no mask law. There's no mask mandate. And there is no lockdowns. And the hospitalization rate is as the 2018 flu season. Might as well do that. I think that sounds like a plan. Quebec to impose 8 p.m. province-wide curfew until February 8 to halt the COVID-19 surge. So right now in Quebec, 4 people are infected with the COVID virus. 4 people. I bet you, I don't have $100 on me. I don't have $100 bill on me. I could bet you guys, somebody in the chat if they want to bet $100 that more people slipped and died in the shower in Quebec than there are people with the 4 COVID cases. I'll bet you that we should launch a war against showers and slipping in showers. Heck, why don't we shut down everyone's shower? Because more people died and slipped in the shower on soap or something, or slippery shower in Quebec than there are cases of COVID-19. We should shut down everyone's showers. No more showering. Quebec lays out the new curfew will be enforced. Again, sucking off the taxpayer tit right here. All your life, you don't have to worry about where your money's coming in. You don't have to worry about where I'm going to get my next pay from. You don't have to worry about what food or what can I afford to buy. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Meet the new Teletubbies. Oh, I brought this up earlier on the Morning Coffee with Mike. There's the new Teletubbies. They're walking around. This is in England, right? This is a Bradford Council. Look at the taxpayer dollars at work. Look at that. Sucking off the taxpayer's tit right there. COVID infection rates, and there's TVs that go around on the shoulders. And people, look at that. He's like one of the English guards standing in front there, like a pole, standing there, showing the people how it's done. Showing the people the way. Look at this. Look at this. They're using taxpayer money for this. But in Florida, it's the complete opposite. The complete opposite is happening. Look at that. Infection rates on Bradford are rising. Ooh, I think 2 people got COVID there. All right, let's keep going. Massive power grid failure plunges in Pakistan into darkness. Ooh, that's not good. Not good at all. Don't know much about the Pakistani electrical infrastructure. Maybe we could get someone on to explain it to us. Scientists explain how intuition may be the highest form of intelligence. Oh, yeah. Science is beginning to recognize... Science, right here! Science was invented to debunk Christianity. That's it. Because if science was on our side, they would have seen that this COVID thing was a scam and it would have been shut down right quick in a heartbeat. If science was legit. If science was, like, legit. If science was legit... This whole, was it global warming? Or they changed the name to, it wasn't before climate change, it was something else. And then it was climate change. Yeah, because it started off like this. The Afghani freedom fighters, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, ISIL, and then... I don't know, there's like 13 names. So there's always a new, you know what I'm saying? So if science, science is great to get us on a plane. Science is great to drive us around. Science is great, but now anything scientific that you use against, let's say, look at this. Sweden has had schools open, over 1 million kids, no deaths, and yeah, there you go. So, yeah, politicians don't have to, because if the politicians had to worry about how they're going to get their next meal, none of this crap would be happening. It'd be back to business as usual. So here it is, guys. Former CIA Director John calls for Mao-like public humiliation sessions for Trump supporters before they are accepted back into society. That's how it's going to work going forward. You go, or again, I was talking to someone today about the same thing. If we get another Ross Perot that's going to come in and say, I don't need the money, I don't need the bull crap, but I do need to fix this country. And I'm going to do that. The media is against you. Science is against you. Your credit history is against you. Somebody you talk to in grade 6 will be against you. Anyone that's for the people, you're going to get people from your past life, from the life you lived before, to come and shoot you down. You're going to interview your dead dog and dig him up and do a DNA analysis and ask him questions. All right, let's keep going here. Canada's first case of South African COVID variant found in Alberta. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. But this lady here doesn't have to worry about getting your next meal. They want to shut down the country indefinitely because 10 push-up Gates. We're going to call him Bill Gates, we're going to call him 10 push-up Gates. Because I could bet you, I got to bring money on the show so I could bet people. I bet you $100 that guy can't do 10 push-ups. Our world health minister. Self-appointed health minister. So she doesn't have to worry about her next meal. Yeah. COVID crackdown. Drivers are turned away from beauty spots while police question parents with pushchairs about where they are going, and 4 cops surround a man outside of a tube station. Cops surrounding the man. There it is. There's the article. We looked at this earlier. Surround them. Surround them. And I got to bring money on this. I bet you $100 that one of these guys here, or girls, if this guy was a big, tall, Jamaican built guy with gold teeth, and this guy was alone, he would not even look at him. He would walk by, and if the Jamaican guy looks at the cop and says, "Hey, cop, where you going?" "Nowhere, sir. I'm just going for a walk." Yeah. All right, let's keep going here. Could dimming the sun save the earth? Okay, Bill Gates, 10 push-ups. Wants to spray millions of tons of dust into the stratosphere to stop global warming. Okay, I thought global warming wasn't real because Florida is not underwater. They predicted Florida underwater by 2007. They're destroying everything. They've destroyed science. They've destroyed they're dismantling the Christian religion. Every other religion's fine. It's the Christian religion that they're dismantling. They're dismantling our rights. They're dismantling our freedom of assembly. They're dismantling our freedom of speech. They're dismantling our families. They're dismantling our education. They're dismantling everything that our forefathers worked for in all these damn wars. So 10 push-ups Gates wants to spray millions of tons of dust. My favorite is, my favorite meme of the week, if you want to call it a meme, the joke of the week, is when Hillary Clinton was freaking out. Hilldog was freaking out. Why didn't they fix the election for me? Why didn't they do it for me? And that's what Hilldog was doing. Why didn't they fix? The problem is no one liked her, but she's back in the mix. Woo! All right, let's keep going. All right. U.S. COVID vaccines are extremely hazardous to health. Iran. Let's see what Iran's saying here. Iran, completely untrustworthy. Iran bans import of COVID vaccines from you. They got it. Apparently, they got it checked out. Yeah. True North, Canada lost 63,000 jobs in December. Keep voting them in. Because Canada's going to turn into, okay, Canada went from a great production company, then we sold off our mines to China, sold off our housing, sold off our futures to China. And then from there, now we're going to be all public sector jobs funded by printing money. And more allergic reactions triggered by COVID vaccine than scientists expected. Oh, don't be silly. And Trudeau says Canada could see another election this year. They want to get this election out of the way as early as possible so they could do the mail-in ballot system just like the United States of America. Smart move. And someone sent me this. They want to come on the show to talk about cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Interesting. I don't know what this is, but this is a patent of some sorts here that somebody's been working on and wants to come on the show. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. And I want to thank everybody for coming on the show. Let's get our first caller on. Whew. So we got Low Roller Scratcher. New Zealand bloke says, sell your big tech shares. Imagine if 70 million Americans did this. That's how it works. Sell off all your Google. Sell off. That's a good one, New Zealand bloke. You go ahead and start selling off all your big tech stuff. Everything you invested in. Tesla, Facebook, all this. Microsoft. Sell it. If it's worth something, sell it. Make your money. And see what happens. So let's get our first caller in. Okay, guys, I'm talking too much. I need to relax a little bit. I need to relax a little bit. Liam is messaging me at 1:44 in the morning asking if I'm okay. I'm good, buddy. Okay, there's another article here from Liam. Let's get that open here. All right, Liam sent us an article. London population set to decline for the first time since 1988, says report. Don't be silly. We are severely overpopulated. Okay? Don't forget that. But yeah, it is going to be because the locals aren't having kids. So they got to bring in more immigration to keep up the population. Canada's doing it. Australia's doing it. New Zealand's doing it. The United Kingdom is doing it. Obviously, London is doing it. Everyone's trying to get their population up, right? So that's a kind of an important one, actually. That's a good one from Liam. Thanks for sharing that with us. Mike in the Night tonight. All right, let's see who we got for tonight. People of the night. Who do we got? We got... Oh, Mitch Madden says he needs to tell us something. So let me get him on the show.
Mike.
Yo, Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
All right, boy, I've been busy lately trying to find some good news.
Okay, have you found some good news for us?
Yeah, I watched a video today. Robert Schiller, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's that famous. He has the Case-Shiller Index and the CAPE
Hmm.
thing. He got a what do you call it, a Nobel Prize for economics or whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, I watched an interview with him, and there was a positive side to this lockdown that I hadn't really. We've talked about it, but not in depth, and he did. He
Okay.
talked about the fact that millions of people are working from home now. Now
Right.
we know that, but my daughter and her husband, who is a software engineer for Google, and my daughter both work from home, and they're both making six figures. They're down in the San Francisco Bay Area, down near Silicon Valley,
Hmm.
and he talked about the how this is actually going to be changing the world that we live in. The office buildings, of course, and the massive infrastructure that encompasses the office buildings are going to be unnecessary now. Cars, gasoline, tires, maintenance are going to be predominantly unnecessary for these people, the people that can work from home. Commuting unnecessary. Daycare to some extent unnecessary, or significantly reduced. Going out for meals unnecessary. You're at home. You're working from home. You just prepare your meals at home, even microwave meals. You don't have to buy suits, ties, dresses, makeup, shoes, nothing like that, and get dressed up for work and spend an hour, 2 hours each way going to work every day. You no longer will have to live in an expensive city or an expensive suburb and commute into the city to do these jobs. Maybe you left your native home where your family and friends are. You can actually return now if you can work from home.
But there's
And
one tiny problem with that.
uh,
That's great. I think that's fantastic, Mitch. But there's one tiny problem, and we covered this with two different articles already. One from Canada and one from the United States, stating that people that work from home that are not contributing to the infrastructure for commute will be taxed a lot higher.
well, there's a couple other things I considered. It's going to be real bad for the GDP.
Hmm.
Because these people are not going to be consuming as much, but much more efficient. But however, my feeling is these companies that are these mostly companies that are paying high white collar salaries. Once they realize that they can hire remote workers, they will eventually convert most of their employees over to India, to the Philippines, where there's highly educated English speakers there that can do the work for a fraction. Slave labor online.
This is
So
Red Pill Gary just said the workers will be unnecessary too if they could hire people working from home from India for the fraction of the cost. Now,
that's exactly what I
That's
just
what's
said.
happened, obviously, in the last 10 years to Seattle, where there's been secret. Listen to this, Mitch. I think we brought this up in the show 2 years ago. Secret education centers funded by Google, funded by places like big companies. Okay, I'm not going to mention their names, but like big
Right.
Google type companies funding education centers in third world countries for people to take over the phones. And that's been happening full blast since 2016. And from what I've heard from someone on the ground that lives in Africa, actually messaged me to tell me that they're actually building more schools to educate people to answer the phones on for eBay support, all that support, because that's all going to soon disappear from from Western countries when you could pay somebody 43 cents an hour to do it.
Yeah, call centers over in the Philippines are really big, and they are in India as well. And my daughter's husband is Nepalese. He's from Nepal, and he's a real intelligent geek. But what Google and Oracle and all these companies are going to do is they're going to just hire people that are Nepalese or Indian or whatever, Filipino or whatever, and eventually those jobs will go away. But anyway, for now, the people that are working from home and still getting a good pay, there are some positive benefits, at least in the short run, and they can actually move to a much more affordable area now because they're mobile,
Right.
and they can reduce their overhead and kind of prepare preempt the fact that eventually their job might become obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Now I watched this is getting on to cryptos.
Mm-hmm.
This just came out too. This is the Nomad Capitalist, and he helps people with real high net worth individuals that are very mobile and want to hold citizenship in different countries and travel around the world and have a lot of options. I'm just moderately interested in the guy. He's not really. I'm not in his camp as far as what he's promoting, but it's good for some people. But anyway, he was talking about cryptos, and he discussed a lot of different factors that made me pretty convinced that eventually governments and central banks are not going to allow people to have cryptos unless they can get a piece of the action. And
right. Well, we saw a few weeks ago on the show, we discussed it. We had the article up that India is now charging a government sales tax on crypto exchanges now.
Yeah, they're going to do something. They're going to Mike, you can't, if you're an American, you can't go anywhere in the world and open up a bank account with $10,000 in it without making you fill out a report to the U.S. Treasury, the IRS, and everything else, and you are taxed on your worldwide income, and that will be happening with cryptos. They're gonna follow people anytime they make a trade, anytime they make a sale, anytime they make a transaction. Just like credit card companies, that's competition for credit card companies. If you can actually make some purchases. And they've got all the money and all the power and all the lobbyists and everything, and there's going to be so much more pressure and attention brought into the crypto space by governments, banks, businesses that are losing out to the crypto space.
Well, and I guess that's the bank's problem, right? If banks were more transparent and said, okay, guys, we're going to let all the people know we're going to open a bank and this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to hide this from people and this is how we're going to impoverish people. Every country that's taken on a global bank or joined with the global banking system has basically impoverished the people working there. People living in those countries, sorry.
Yeah, I'd like to mention another thing. My neighbor today, he said he was sure looking forward to the next big stimulus of $2,000 that the Democrats are going to give us, right? Mm-hmm. And I tried to explain to him. I just watched a vlog by Mark Faber, one of my favorite guy. He lives over in Thailand. He's a Swiss, financer guy, and Mark Faber said, well, if printing money and giving money away worked. He said, and we don't have to fix anything. We don't have to farm anything. We don't have to build bridges and roads and skyscrapers and houses. And he said, if we just print money and we can have everything we want, he says, why doesn't all the government just print money? And nobody works. We can just have a big party like it's 1999.
Yeah, but someone's going to have to clean up the mess, right? Because
right.
People are going to be knocking on their doors and collecting debts, right?
Yeah, last two things. Today I saw a short video by Jay Bravo. He interviewed and did some videos of Marina del Rey down in Southern California. It's a real exclusive area around the beach there, around the ocean. And that place has been taken over to a large degree by homeless, and these big, beautiful complexes, condo complexes and stuff have been evacuated. People have moved out, and they're by and large empty. And then
a lot of those are foreign investor owned. They've been empty for a while.
Yeah, and even the property manager, the on-site and off-site managers aren't answering their phone or emails. They shut down in some of these buildings. And then today, Jeremiah Babe down in Rancho Mirage, which is a high-end area of the Southern California desert, southeast of L.A., he went into Rancho Mirage and showed this humongous. It's kind of like an outdoor mall called the River, and it's dead. The whole area is dead, and this is a real. There's a lot of wealth in that area. And
Again, Mitch, a lot of it, especially when you mention California, a lot of it has to do with the corporate takeover. Amerifornia is coming. You're in Oregon. You know what's happening. You're seeing it firsthand. The price of real estate going up, the cost of everything going up, but wages aren't going up. Same thing with Washington State, north of you. All those places have places like you just mentioned everywhere. You want to come to Canada? We have a ton of empty towers here. Empty, completely empty. The tower I used to live in downtown Vancouver, there was 9 occupants in the entire tower because everything still had the plastic on it from the builder. On the microwave, even all over the counters, it still had the plastic on it 20 years later from the builder.
Wow, we just keep waiting for a collapse. It just keeps getting worse. But it's right in front of our face. But there's a lot of people that have their head in the sand. Yeah. Wow.
Just letting you know, it's old. The reason why I'm kind of ahead of the game what's happening what's going to happen in America, while I'm ahead of most of these other channels, is because I've been watching what's happening in the Commonwealth, connecting the dots across all these English-speaking countries, and it's only happened in Western United States, New York, Massachusetts, and Illinois, and now it's going to go. You're going to see Amerifornia 101 in 2021, and you're going to see housing go up 40 to 100% in places like Alabama, Arizona, Texas. You're going to see Texas get out of reach for local Texicans, and it's going to be disgusting. So you're going to see it. You're going to see it, and it's going to be full blown. And let them know where you heard it first. Do you know what I'm saying, Mitch?
Well, you predicted pandemic when you were talking to Raven a couple of years ago.
No, it was a year and a half ago. It was September of last year. No, September
2019?
of 2019.
Oh, how that's good timing.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Wow.
It's not that I predicted it. I just said the last thing they could do is pull the trigger on a mass pandemic. That's the last thing that was left because they tried everything to, and then when I had that nurse come and talk to me in person, because I'm a very not hard to find person. If you want to come and find me, you can find me like during the day at my store. And she came in and said, hey, we were on a conference call and we were told, how could we make global warming as big of a deal like COVID and shut the world down? That's what their question and their work, or not their work, but let's so to say, what their mission or their homework is to figure out a way to make global warming more pressing so they could take it more serious like COVID.
Yeah. So. Well, you pretty much have been on the spot on a lot of these real significant issues. Anyway, there's so much interesting stuff going on right now, and I know everybody's all wound up, and everybody's going to continue to be wound up because of what's happening. We're losing our freedoms. I mean, when Twitter can actually ban the president of the United States from speaking out, he doesn't have a voice.
They're banning him, Mitch. They're banning him on every platform because he's going to start releasing very damaging items that he believes that the people should know, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of photos circulating of shredded ballots. With the police presence, and the police can't do nothing about it, right? So there's a lot going on, and America lost everything from this election because they purposely tried to change the rules as they went along, so the person that's going to win it doesn't win it. And Hill Dog, Hill Dog, right? Mm-hmm. She was freaking out. She was freaking out on a 2-day tantrum, complaining why didn't they fix the election for her when it was her turn? Yeah.
By the way, Robert Schiller confirmed what we already know. Mm-hmm. He was predominantly talking about America, but he said the stock market and the real estate market are in a bubble. We know that it's not just in America. And he said the bond market is in a bubble also. In other words, he said bonds are very expensive right now. They've never been this expensive. Mm-hmm. Most people don't understand the bond market. It took me years to kind of get a handle on it. When you say they're expensive, it means that they're you're not getting any interest. Essentially, you have to pay full boat for, full price for a bond that you're going to collect in the future when it's worth less.
Well, again, Mitch, that's for corporations to expense. Hopefully, what the bond market hopes is that corporations buys up these bonds to basically take a loss on their capital gains so they don't have to pay back corporate tax in return.
Yeah, there's no. Oh, he wrote this. Schiller just put out a book called Narrative Economics, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Narrative Economics. In other words, everybody's buying stuff because of the story, the narrative, rather than fundamentals. And also, one last thing that Robert Schiller said that I want to remind our crypto friends that Robert Schiller said one of the most common mistakes that people who are investing and actually the investment is going their way make is they let it go to their head.
Right.
Anyway, I'll close with that.
All right, Mitch, you take care. God bless you. Thanks for coming on with the plug and keeping us up to speed on what's going on. Thank you, brother.
Okay, love you, and we'll see you on the chat.
God bless you. All right, the Mitch Madden from Oregon. Hold on. We got Kathy Madison. I'm Australian. Tomorrow morning at 3:30 a.m. I drive alone 400 kilometers to Brisbane. When I get there, I have to put a mask on while in my car alone. Kathy, I have a solution for that. Go to Florida. There's no mask law, there's no social distancing, and there's nobody in the hospital. And they have less people in the hospital than the 2019 flu or 2017 or 2018 flu season. Less people are. So, and on top of all of that, you could buy a house for 140 grand with a pool. Because I'm pretty sure that when you arrive to Brisbane, all the properties start at 800 grand for a one bedroom with no parking. So that's my advice, Kathy, but have a safe drive. 400 clicks. Guys, that is about 310 kilometer drive. All right. Alone in the car, and she needs to wear a mask, even though her vehicle has a cabin air filter. Yes, vehicles have a cabin air filter. What if the police pull me over and say, where's your mask? I'm driving alone in my car. Where's your mask? I have a damn cabin air filter in my damn car for that. Now, Kathy's saying that she cannot fly out of Australia to get there. Wow. You know what, guys? If I could, I would go back 40 years and bring my whole family back 40 years. I'm not kidding. I'll go back to 1980. I'll take my whole entire family and just go back to 1980 and start over. Pay a house off in 3-4 years at 12% interest. Make the right investment choices, and live through. Even though it's going to be a repeat of what I've saw, I don't mind repeating it, but doing it right and going back to 1980. That's what I would do. I don't want to go ahead in this anymore. This is getting to... So we got another $5 super chat. That puts me at $20. That is enough gas to get me to Chilliwack, British Columbia. That is from Merritt to Chilliwack, guys. You gave me enough gas to reach there. Thank you for the super chats, guys. I'm going to use this money to fix this stupid fan on my computer that's making noise. I don't know if you could hear it.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Okay, let's move on. Lord Humongous wants me to play a video, but it's on YouTube. I don't know if I can play this video. I probably can. I don't know. I don't know if I could play this video. It's on YouTube. It's gonna get flagged. Maybe we could get Lord Humongous to just tell me what the video is about without swearing. And I'll call him right now in Colorado. Yo, I've been trying to reach you. A lot tougher to get than the president.
Well, the president, man, that one's overrated. I want to be tougher to get than the King of Siam.
Dude, you're supposed to come back and say, "What are you talking about? I'm banned from every platform. You can't get a hold of me." So how you doing, Lord Humongous? Happy New Year.
Mikey, I'm getting double feedback. Hold on. There, can you hear me now?
Okay, I could hear you now, buddy. I could hear you. But okay. You sent me a video. Just tell me what it's about without swearing.
It's Lieutenant McInerney is his name. He was on Fox News contributor for like 17 years. He's talking about when they breached the Capitol that there was special forces embedded with those Antifa guys that got
Yes, there
through.
was. We don't like a lot of tattoos and markings on them are some of the same people that were when they burnt down Oregon and when they burnt down Wisconsin and when they burnt down parts of Washington State. A lot of those people, yeah.
What what he's saying though is that they got Nancy Peglosi's laptop. All the laptops that we've been missing from these different like hill dogs and different political figures over the years, like Anthony Weiner's,
Oh,
laptop.
I love that man. Every time I hear that name, Anthony Weiner, this comes to mind.
Who is your daddy?
Yeah.
And what does he
Raven
do?
sent me a really nice.
I can't even show that picture. Raven sent that to me. You should have seen me a tear roll down my eye when I saw that picture.
Is that gross or what, man?
Dude,
I mean,
you can't even describe it on this channel.
This is the level of evil we're dealing with. I mean, this is this group of people. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't believe in parties anymore, man. They're just both disgusting to me. The whole government just it's beyond belief, Mike. And anybody supporting one side or the other to me is just going along with the whole entire thing, man. I just psychologically it's just too much.
Yeah, when he sent me that photo, you should have seen the tear rolled down my eye. And it's one of those tears that where you're not crying because you got a set of bad news and it hits you hard. It's one of those uncontrollable tears that if I was out in public, I'd say, oh, I got an allergic reaction just to brush it off so no one thinks I'm crying. But that was a real tear when it just rolled right down my face when I saw that because I have kids that age. And
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And this all ties into all that Epstein garbage. I mean, it's just the whole same crew.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of that dark, deep state that we're dealing with here. And as an American, it makes me ashamed. And I just don't have words, man. I do not have words.
Okay. Okay. I know you're not pro Trump. You're not pro anybody. You're pro. Let's get rid of the banks. But how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel, honestly, to know that they had to screw around with or change the rules or change the way of the election because the guy that's going to win it democratically through voting, they don't want him to win. So how does that make you feel as an American that you guys no longer have a democracy?
Well, I don't care about not having a democracy because a democracy is mob rule, and that's never what the founding fathers of this country ever intended us to have. As I've stated many times on the show before, in the Constitution, you won't find the word democracy anywhere. You won't find it in the Declaration of Independence anywhere. And they have twisted this country's founding documents so badly through these other, like the Admiralty law system and all the other garbage at the Supreme Court. I mean, it's just so sick and twisted, Mike. Monetarily, they're killing us through our own central bank. They've weaponized the dollar against us. They're killing small business with the COVID thing. It's all part of the show. They have to take Americans' guns. And those people that are saying that, America's finished all these commies, I don't know who these people are, but we don't give up that easily.
Hold on a second. Steve the plumber just sent me a message. Sent a message in the chat. Says I was so sick to my stomach when the Raven sent that picture to me. Yeah, so the Raven spammed out. If you guys are friends with the Raven on Skype, he could send you that image. The thing is that image would be forefront and center all over the media if that was Donald Trump's son.
Oh yeah, sure, exactly.
It would be all. It would be. They would send a teleportation of the image to Mars. So if there's any life in Mars, which I hope we don't have any life on Mars, because the Canadian government will send the money. So, but anyways, I'm not going off topic. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the only thing, the good part about this whole debacle with the Capitol and all that stuff is that I think it's waking, unfortunately, more brainwashed dummies up that have been in this country and in this system so long, and they're just so politically ideologically brainwashed, whether it be on the left or the right. It's all a game that the bankers own, man, and they're playing with you psychologically. It's why aren't these people, going into the Federal Reserve and shutting them down? This is the root cause of the 1929 depression. These guys, these finance makers, these market manipulators, these Wall Street gangsters, they're all in on it. They know exactly what they're doing. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. What is their purpose? Are they
I know,
that
what is that?
powerful?
Like, the Raven keeps saying that they're all playing on the same team, but then why do they have to go so out of their way to fix this? And then, your friend Hilldog was freaking out on a tantrum for 2 days, complaining that they didn't fix the election for her. And, like, but
Yeah,
if everyone's on the same team, why does it have to go this far? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why didn't they do that for Hilldog in the 2016 election and Trump never even got in?
Yeah,
right?
If they did it for Hilldog, we probably wouldn't be talking to each other right now, because she would have sparked a war with Iran, and then Russia would have jumped in, and then China would have come over to the California side. China would have come over from the Pacific side, and we'd be in, and they would have invaded Taiwan. Oh, it would be, now everything's been trumped up you get it trumped up for 4 years. Now China's going to go in. Do you know how many people, Lord Humongous, like in Hong Kong, for example, in Japan, in places like Australia, were begging that Trump get reelected because of a lot of people don't know, Lord Humongous, that the amount of sanctions that's put on Australia, of all countries in the world, Australia, by China.
Right. One of our so-called allies, right? Australia, that's supposed to be under the British crown too, is correct?
And is sanctioned to death by China. But God forbid anybody figure that out. And you know how they begged that Trump, because Trump was the only person between China and the West.
Right. I think Trump exposed a lot of the China infiltration into the West Coast. And that's how they're doing it. And they're doing it through the monetary and business apparatus. They've been shutting down from the commercial real estate that you see that are vacant to a lot of the housing residential, driving up price.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that by looking, at the bond market. Like today, they moved the bond market over 1%. Or on Friday, over 1%. So there's something economically that's moving in that bond market now, and I think that has to do with that falling, what they call the USD dollar.
They say it's going to go to 84.
Yeah, I do. I think it's sick because so many people get destroyed when these assholes make these fucking moves. Excuse my French.
Hold on. But then you know what Canada media does? You know what the media in Canada does?
What?
Canadian dollar going strong. Our economy is doing good. But they don't discuss the fact that the American dollar is sinking. That's why the Canadian dollar looks better. It doesn't mean that the Canadian economy is doing better. It means America's sinking. But the Canadian news is, look at our dollar.
It doesn't matter. All those fiat currencies are tied to the U.S. dollar. That's what I mean. If America goes down, they're all going to go to zero. That's what people don't understand. When they lose zero, when all this paper money goes to zero confidence, where you can't buy garbage in a 5-mile radius, what good is it? What good is a Bitcoin at $1 trillion going to do anybody? What am I going to do if I even have a fraction of a Bitcoin? Am I going to take my computer, laptop, or my hard drive and go down to the liquor store or the grocery store and buy a basket of bread or eggs?
Right.
I mean, it's just stupidity, man. People are so dumb. They don't even know what money is. And that's what pisses me off about the whole thing. I care about Leaf, but I'm just trying to tell him, man, what these guys are doing with this whole thing, they're ensnaring everybody, man. And they're just going to limit free. I agree with Layla on that. They're going to limit your ability to freely travel. So what good is having $1 trillion in Bitcoin going to do for you then? I don't understand it, man. Because they are taking our freedoms away. These are basic freedoms. The freedom to travel, that's in the Constitution. Why
don't you just go to Florida for a little while? There's no social distancing. There's no masks. And they have less people in the hospital than the last flu season.
Right. It's unbelievable.
Hey, you can buy a 4-bedroom with a pool, $170,000.
I mean, I don't know how many years I got left, dude. I got diabetes. I mean, my dad died at 56. You know, do I have to live in a prison where I have no food, no money, no nothing coming in? That's how bad it's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be fighting foreign troops on this soil here because they're trying to invade while these politician idiots on both parties are selling us out to the very country that everybody's so worried about. I mean, come on.
They've been They've been sucking off the. They've been sucking off the tax system off the tax system tit.
Yeah,
a lot of these people are not worried how they're going to get their next meal. A lot of these people are not worried how they're going to pay their rent. They don't care because they always have money coming in from the taxpayers. And if they can't get it from the taxpayers, they'll print it off.
Mikey, the taxpayer tit died in 2008 in that last collapse. That was all part of it.
But I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I love you, dude, like a brother, bro. To me, I don't care about a flag flying over your head, what your political ideology is. I really don't. I don't care. I care about that you have a great show. It's family orientated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're a good guy, and this show deserves to be on whatever stupid platform and not get censored and be able to speak freely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's exactly what these dark agents are trying to kill through Google, Facebook, all of them. They're all connected. You know, it's just disgusting, man. I'm just so done with it. It's all mathematics. They're trying to build up these electronic prisons for everybody. You know, like, you know, do they really want to know where I go and buy my donuts down at the donut shop and what I spend? Do I spend 79 cents or $2.39? I mean, really? I mean, you know, what's the problem with this world, man? Maybe it's the world. You know, they go along with whatever. Then you see all these dumb sheep. Putting on masks, believing in this COVID lie. You know, Bill Gates is behind all that.
You're talking about 10 push-ups, Gates?
Yeah, the guy with the tentacles, not the arms. You know, he's got octopus.
But could he do 10 push-ups, Bill Gates?
The
health minister of the world, the self-appointed health minister. Do you think he could do 10 push-ups?
I think he could squeeze out maybe 4.5. I think Hill Dog would probably beat him by like 2, with maybe a 6 or 7 push-ups. I'd definitely like to see those two get in the ring, though. Maybe Nancy Pelosi too. That'd be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think they gotta give her, you know, those panels to revive a person every morning to wake her up.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, but, clear. Okay, she's awake.
Yeah, right. I don't know. She was grown out of a petri dish, man. I don't know. It's disgusting.
Okay, but, Lord. Anything else?
All right, but yeah, my birthday's coming up. You think you can get that hoodie fixed so I can get one for my birthday maybe on Teespring?
Try adding it to your cardigan. I went to it, and there's not adding any sizes on any other hoodie because they're out of hoodie sizes.
Oh, okay.
Something's wrong with So
I was so excited to get one before Christmas, man. It just kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, so guys, what he's talking about is for Lord Humongous, I made him a hoodie. Lord Humongous hoodie. It's on the Teespring store, and it looks pretty cool, by the way. And the problem is it doesn't allow him to select the size.
Yeah.
And that's
why I really wanted it, man. I was like, you know, that.
Have you contacted them at Teespring? They'll get back to you.
I tried. They didn't get back to me, man. I'm having problems getting a hold of half of these stores and stuff right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're jamming up my telecommunications and censoring me and trying to get back at me. I have no idea. I mean, I'm just an American, bro. I'm just an American. That's all I am.
All right, dude. Let me. I'll put together a care package for you and mail it, and I'll find that bat coin and send that to you too. Okay.
Oh, you're my bro, man. I love you, man.
All right.
I do.
I love you too. All right, do your thing. God bless you, and I'll see you in the chat.
God bless, bro.
Bye. That is Lord Humongous coming out of Colorado there, just out of the Denver area in the state of Colorado. Okay, so Dr. Mysterio says he has a few interesting tidbits of information. Dr. Mysterio, I wonder where he is. I don't know if he's. I don't know what country he's. I don't know if he flies around in his private plane all the time, so I don't know where he's at or what he's doing. Half the time, I don't even know what country he's in. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, the comments are going real strong. Thank you, everybody. Guys, please don't forget to... I want to thank everyone for the super chat. I got 20 bucks in super chat tonight. That is enough to get me to Chilliwack, BC from Merit. Hopefully tonight I could score enough cash to get me to... What am I hoping to get to? Seattle. Yeah, if I can get enough gas money to get to Seattle, I'd be very happy. Tignim in the house. We got their Wolf in the house. Mitch Madden is in the house. Okay, so it looks like Dr. Mysterio right now is in an undisclosed area. But he's somewhere in the Caribbean from what the looks of it. The hints that I'm getting here. So, FinTech is saying, watching the stream / delayed. Bring it back to the beginning. I go on a huge rant for the first hour. Okay, guys, let's do a quick channel plug before we get our next caller in. You are watching Mike in the Night, People of the Night, # Mike in the Night. Remember, people, do not... What's the disclaimer? We do not offer financial advice, nor do we know how to read or know anything. This video should not be viewed by anybody, ever. Okay, so guys, here's the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to set your reminders on 2021 Wednesday show, Commonwealth for Common Folks. Somebody gave me that idea. Commonwealth for Common Folks. Don't forget to set your reminder for this Wednesday coming up. We're entering the year of the bull. And why? Because they're just pumping up so much fake money into the system. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook. If you guys want, I have a fan page sitting at 115,000 followers. And Facebook has finally now issued me or made me a news media personality. Okay, guys, don't forget the Teespring. Lord Humongous. There's the hoodie that Lord Humongous was talking about. It's very beautiful. Oh, it doesn't let you select the size. Oh, yes, it does. Lord, it's work. No, it doesn't. See, it doesn't allow you to select the size. See where it is? Okay, maybe if I put 4 of them. See, it doesn't allow me to select the size. I don't know why. So here it is. Gold and silver is real money. There's the hoodie. There's the front, Lord Humongous. Mike in the Night. So if you guys want to pick up something cool for the show, pick it up. Okay, guys, we got Parler is going to be gone, in an hour or two. Apparently, Parler is going to be taken down midnight New York time, so we got 40 minutes on Parler. And we went through Parler earlier. Oh my God, Stell in Toronto. Stell in Toronto just sent me $10 on Super Chat. Now I have enough money to get to Burnaby, British Columbia from Merritt. So open up your MapQuest or open up your maps and see where Merritt is and see where Burnaby, British Columbia is. That's enough gas now total to get me to Burnaby. Okay, guys. So here it is, guys. Parler's going to be gone, and I don't know, guys. Guys, if you want to pick something up and support the channel and you want to actually buy something, just buy something from my eBay store. If you're in North America, though, I can't ship this to Australia. It would cost me, I would have to strap my left nut to it to help pay for it because it's so expensive to ship because we are in Canada. But there it is. Oh, IDK777 just brought something up. I Survived 2020 shirt. I got to make one of those. I Survived 2020. I told you guys at mid-2020, I will make I Survived the 2020. Art by Dano. Don't forget to check him out. Art by Dano. Artbydano.net. Check him out. Not Your Typical Art. Really cool guy. He's been on the show many times. And don't forget to check out Market Education by our Fruity Loops that comes on the channel once in a while to talk about his experiences. Okay, guys, that's the plug right there. See, that wasn't too bad, right? Thank you so much for the $10. Stell Toronto. What time is it in Toronto? It's like 8, 9, 10. Wow, it's almost 11:13 in Toronto. So people are watching Mike in the Night. It's almost Mike in the morning in some places. So let's get Mr. Mysterio on. I think he's just north of Havana. Hello? You can mute the show there. How you doing, sir?
The doctor is in the house, and the doctor is doing fine. Thank you very much.
Dr. Mysterio, I know you just got a... whoa, he just hung up on me. I hope he's... Dr. Mysterio just hung up on me. I hope he's not in trouble. Try again, please. Are you okay?
I'm right here. I'm just trying to kill my video.
Well, no one can see it anyway. Okay, I see those palm trees behind you, so you're definitely in a nice warm climate. That's really nice.
Yes, well, it was nice to be able to get away, and it's nice to not be able to travel with the rest of those politicians that seem to otherwise want to break their public policy. Myself, I'm a citizen of the world, so just basically go where I need to go. But I'd like to go through a recap of some recent things tonight.
Go ahead.
The most recent stuff that came out to light was really interesting when you look at the tweets that were coming out from Sidney Powell and especially Lynn Wood prior to being shut down on Twitter. Lynn Wood was in full pedophilia empire mode and describing everything in great detail about how loyalty is connected. And I could not believe the content. He was right on the money.
And what scared the crap out of me was, I don't know, the Raven from the channel sent me a photo and sent other people a photo from the show, like people that were connected to that we know. And it just ran a tear down my face. I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. And yeah, continue.
Yes, well, Robert David Steele also published book number 4 in his series Pedo Empire this week. It just got released, and this is like 2,500 pages altogether once you add all 4 volumes to date of documentation on the deep state and the way that the deep state runs and the way that the system of political blackmail sort of operates in this world. So I found that absolutely fascinating, and I'm sure that we have not heard the last from Linwood and Sidney Powell. And despite whether the fact that Parler is going to be taken down or not, only serves to show how desperate the deep state is. And based on an article that I was reading in exopolitics.org, they're talking about Project Looking Glass, and they were saying that the temporal war basically had started because somebody had perceived a point 345 years sort of from now of where enslavement would happen. And they came back to fix that timeline. So that's where the constriction happens, and that's where we get the 1,000 years of the golden age of mankind from. So I think that it's really important, no matter whether the other viewers may share the same views on this, that it provides a framework for hope. And a framework for hope, in addition to the prophetic passage that I went through from the good book last week, I think can give us all some comfort and some solace that things are going to turn out okay. One great thing of Mandela effect that has been noticed was that when President Kennedy first died, or when he died, the initial footage seemed to contain pictures of a 4-door Lincoln just with, the 2 suicide doors that would meet together, but like a front seat and a back seat. But later, more recent reviews or presentations of video on platforms such as BitChute and even YouTube have been showing replays or visions of Kennedy being in a Lincoln that actually had a separator panel between the front door and the rear door, and it had a rear-facing back seat. So this is another one of the conundrums which we have been facing as far as Mandela effect goes. Now, this was not my observation. This was pointed out to me by one of my resources. And another thing that happened is that there was very strange video footage that showed that it was Jacqueline Kennedy who had pulled the trigger, and the bullet had passed up through Kennedy's chin and exploded out the top of his head because she had hidden the pistol inside of a lamb chop sock puppet. And this was video footage that I saw on BitChute. Now, we know that CGI technology has come in, but the thing is the Mandela effect relative to the Lincoln Continental is most strange. And I believe that the Lincoln Continental that is on display in a car museum somewhere in the United States is, in fact, the four-door version without the separator section and the rear-facing seat in it. And anyways, it's very, very interesting.
Now, I know you're following geopolitical world politics and stuff. I just got a message here from Super Mario, who's in Milan. He's saying, Mike, we are getting blackouts here in Italy. Blackouts now going on 6 hours at a time. And Pakistan is also experiencing blackouts. And you know what? I wanted to throw something out geopolitically. That's what's happening in Canada. It looks like they might call an early election just in time so that they get the mail-in ballots in Canada too, because of this massive COVID that's taken over, and the 4 people in Quebec that have it, and they have to shut down the whole country, and no one in Florida is getting it, and places like Portugal, Iceland do not have any of these lockdowns or any of this stuff happening. It's business as usual. But I think they want to get another election here in Canada so the Liberals could get a majority and go ahead and get another 4 years, and then this way they could get the basically get an early election, but you do it mail-in style. Am I right or wrong, or am I just trying to pick at stuff that are not there?
Well, personally, because I choose to go with the optimistic point of view, and that's the I've been fighting on the side of light now nonstop for a period of 10 months. I have to say that we've already won. Future is going to prove past. I absolutely believe that. And I believe that we are on the verge of something very, very, very great.
We had a numerologist on the show last week that actually discussed that there's something big going to happen in 2021, but it's going to actually be in favor of us instead of the...
No, listen, because Canada, Trudeau is one of the 10 antichrist Kabbalistic leaders, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to worry about the number of the beast, I don't think, in the book of Revelations. It's already here. We've had social insurance numbers our entire lives. That could easily qualify as prophecy for the number of the beast.
Right.
But what has not happened yet has been the return. And the return was something that was foreseen by a certain military psyop. And it's also been foreseen in the Bible passage, and the criteria has been fulfilled. The return has just not happened. So yeah, great things are going to happen. And whether it's going to be around the time of the U.S. Inauguration, I don't think anybody can really say. There's a certain point in prophecy or prediction where even the best of us become absolutely stonewalled. And it's like there is a black wall beyond the 20th or 21st of January, of which nobody can see past. Just like Muad'Dib's vision in Frank Herbert's Dune was incomplete. There was a point that he couldn't see past. Well, there's a point that I can't see past. And all I can say is that if the temporal war is indeed coming to a resolution, that we should have an idea geopolitically of where we're going to be going, okay, by around August 20th. And I don't think that that you folks up in Canada there are going to really have to worry, because as soon as the gaslighting from Operation Warp Drive is settled, and they have started or completed the major amount of the cleanup down in the United States, once they deal with their own problems, they will deal with the problems of their neighbor, especially their largest trading partner just to the north, because there's no way in hell's half acre that the United States military is going to permit a foreign enemy to access their territory through their northern neighbor. And if China were to be foolish enough to attempt strategically an attack on the United States, they would find that even though China can come up with instantly with an army of 35 million or more, you have the logistics of transporting them. But the U.S. has the largest standing army in the world. There's civilians. There's 75 million civilians or more that own guns in the United States alone. That is the largest standing army in the world. And their constitution is a document that absolutely stands the test of time, just like the Magna Carta did. And nowhere in the document of the Constitution of the United States of America does it mention democracy. So we are at the precipice of being able to finally shed the garbage of a dualistic society which forces division. And I think that the way of the future is going to be the law of one, because we are one person, one people, one body, one mind, one spirit, one planet, one race, despite any color differences. We
all bleed red, buddy. We all bleed red, and we're all born from woman.
That's it. That's exactly it. And this is the truth is that the Satanistic, Kabbalistic leaders of this world that have tried to manipulate division through the creation of left, right, gay, straight, up, down, good, bad, evil, good, whatever. This is where they fail now, because mankind is going to become something greater. And politically, if we look at the more concrete, I don't know how this is going to manifest itself in terms of our perception of physical reality if we go to something called 5D Earth. I have no idea. But all I can genuinely say is that politically, I believe that Canada is not going to have anything to worry about, because the U.S. is going to solve our problems long before we're going to get around to cleaning them up ourselves, because our intelligence agency is complicit with the CIA, and the CIA has been shown to be completely and utterly deep state. Yeah. And certainly my contacts within that organization, okay, are few and far between. And I can tell you that more of the white hats lie with military intelligence than they do with the Central Intelligence Agency. That I can state as a fact.
So, okay. We'll leave it at that. And we'll get you on another week or two to give us an update on what's happening while you're journeying or flying around the world. You could give us an update on, I know you move around a lot, and you're always 2 steps ahead of the fuzz, but that's good. I'm good. Well, I'm happy that, that you're on our side, and you have a plane in case I need to leave somewhere.
Yeah. And listen, if I can just make one recommendation, and this is from observational point of view, that if you can, start flipping money into, look at some cryptos. I don't want to give any investment advice, because if I do, I might open your channel or myself up to legal action. But
well, no, there's a disclaimer on the channel. We do not give financial advice. We don't know anything, and the disclaimer states that this video should not be viewed by anyone.
Okay, well then I'm going to hold my opinion on that, and I'm not going to take that topic off the table then immediately.
That's
but
fine.
what I would like to say though is that if anybody's looking for alternatives, okay, for social networking, that Telegram seems to be the one that people are going to right now.
Telegram? Okay.
Yeah, and I've certainly been using Telegram, and the TGA, the Great Awakening board, is quite good because you can interact with it, and you can share with it. And it was the board that was being promoted by the HS retoucher at Twitter, John F. Kennedy Jr. profile, prior to that profile being removed during the most recent purge. So the fact is, they can take away all this knowledge and they can try to censor it. But they forget that Native societies and Aboriginal societies in Australia always had the tradition of oral transmission.
That's right.
Oral stories being recited to their kids. Well, I'm going to be one of those people that has the brain full of the answers.
You know what? I usually sit my kids down once a week now, turn on the fireplace, and we tell stories now.
Yes, and I'll be able to tell stories about this time to any kids around a fire, because the way of the future is going to be the smaller communities, us relying on ourselves, less governance from overhead, and we're going to have more common law assemblies. So I suggest that everybody do give Jesse Perez Casanova and earthunited.com or .org, I forgot what their domain suffix is, some support. And I also highly promote the work of Mr. Chris James from Ontario, who has a warriorcalls.org, okay, for common law. This is foundational knowledge, which is going to be the future of mankind. And you can say that you can be proud, being from Canada, that you have such a prophet as Chris James in Ontario, who has come up with such a complete framework to be able to modify our society with. And it just shows the genius of your wonderful nation. And I sure hope that the enemy in Justin Trudeau and the Chinese Communist Party do not take over your country for the long term. God bless President Trump, and God bless the United States of America. Good night.
Good night, Dr. Mysterio. God bless you. All right. So that is Dr. Mysterio. I could tell you he's nowhere near the Northern Hemisphere, because when the video was on, he basically I saw palm trees behind, a lot of palm trees behind him. Looked like he was in some remote airstrip, to be honest with you guys. So we got people, we got Supreme Cannon. Oh, Supreme Cannon's on. I haven't seen him in a while. We got Lenny Poo on. We got everybody in the comment section partying. Lenny Poo sent me a super chat. Guys, thank you so much for the super chat. I am at $30. I could drive to Burnaby, British Columbia. Thank you so much. It all adds up, and I'm going to fix the stupid fan on the computer that's rattling. It's got a busted bearing, and it's so... We got AI call it. Yo, Fruity Loops, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. So, you doing okay? I mean, I plugged your channel earlier here for people to subscribe to it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I support the channel. I love you. I love the channel. I love the community. I'm just, humbly grateful again, and I don't want to say, too much, but I am not feeling as good as I normally do. I guess last night and this whole energy, the vibes on what happens as days and weeks and months unfold, and you get more and more information from things that are going on. You get you have to digest it, and my stomach hurts, but I'm handling it. And I just want to put that disclaimer out there, so I'm not held responsible if I sound like a little out of weather again. It happens to us all, but it yeah, the channel's doing great. I guess I just only recorded, I guess you had those 2 live videos. We had Steve the plumber in there. He
Yeah,
saw
Steve
my
the Plumber
trade.
is an important instrumental piece when it comes to discussion. Here we go. We got the channel here. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Market Education. You're actually coming from a guy that worked for JP Morgan, that worked on Wall Street, all these places, that understands the markets. He's got his own channel here, Market Education, live market investing, and he's here to help people, and that's good.
Exactly, exactly what the mission is to be loving and caring. I'm not trying to get, I'm doing it for free. I'm just sharing this algorithm software. It's us versus the machine. So that's what they're doing to us. Like I said last time, my friend I grew up with, I got multiple, I know a lot of people that, I'm from New York, so that there's more people there than anywhere else, I feel like. And I directed them. We all talked about, we get to know each other, and I have a history was inherited, so to say. My family has a history, extremely deep in this just wild stuff. Like, so I would share stories with my friends. My one side of my family build technology like the Osprey and other things that are being used now in the military. A lot, like my family's a lot of military on one side and the other side as well. And I would share that growing up, and I motivated them to go into certain industries, and the technology, these softwares, the algorithms. It's important. You can see when I was trading, I got involved in Tesla. I mean, I've been in Tesla all the time, but I was involved in Tesla that day. Steve watched it. We was in a 780. It went to, I think it was like 880. It's closed at 880. I had 100 units. So, I mean, they're talking like 12 grand. But, it's not about money for me. Like I said, I'm just sharing it. It's free. Whatever I'm looking at, I'm just trying to share it on the screen. So, you get exactly what's going on with the machines, what you're competing against. And, looking at Bitcoin, we had the Bitcoin mining.
Dude, I bought a bunch of Bitcoin. I've been saying it on the channel for weeks now. I bought a ton of Bitcoin miners about 3 weeks ago. After I sold all my airline stock that went through the roof, I bought a bunch of bit farmers and stuff, and Hut mining and all those weird mining companies. I didn't even know what they were. I just saw the writing on the wall. I put a ton of cash in it, and I'm at a point where, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really, that's what it's all about. And it's not rare with me. I've been doing this a long time. The thing is, when I sit down, and I grew up talking with my friends on technology, we had the option, right? Go to hedge funds and trade, or build algorithms and do some type of, and I went into the hedge fund banking, and he went into the, let's not be greedy, and let's not try to tell people we're trying to make them rich, or other things, and let's try to so to say, just build more things that are technology, tech's going to help us and stuff. So that he went into that, and I'm trying to move away from that. Like, we're making money. I'm just somebody that's been in the, and like I said last time, I've called people vice president of Microsoft, and they just, you talk to people, you find out, and you pull information out of them, and just prospects I had, and they told me a long time ago, this is machine run. The whole thing, this is machine run. But I'm really concerned right now with this whole insurrection. It is toxic, yeah, and if you look online, you'll start to see, like everybody in the chat was saying it earlier, you said it actually, sell all your Google, your Facebook, and that's what pretty much
If
the
all the
sentiment
people
is.
sold off their big tech media, they're going to stop censoring people real quick in a heartbeat once it hurts their pockets. Hold on a second. I need to do something really quick. We got the code word from the Raven today. Catalonia is the code word. And the code word in return, Raven, for people following the secret clues is Raven flies east past Catalonia, northeast 26 degrees. Okay, continue.
Yeah. And like I said, I love the show. I'm a big supporter of Raven and everybody else in the show. I love you guys. I love it. I just love the community.
Dude, you know how many people come through to visit me? Because I'm not a guy. I'm a guy that could easily be reached in person. Because everyone knows where my shop is, right? It's off a major highway. So people come to see me from all over when they're traveling through. Either they're going into the interior or leaving the interior back to the coast. They come to see me. There's no other highway, right? So they come to see me and they tell me, I love the Raven. I love Supreme Cannon. I love Lord. They know everybody by name on this show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely. It's something to be grateful about, and that's what I'm seeing, and this again, back to the chat. So what we'll get the whole Google, Apple, the Facebook sell off, everybody sell this, sell that, effectively, because of they're shutting down. So they shut down Amazon. They're shutting down. They're pulling things off. So they're taking the Parler away from people. Unfortunately, though, when you give somebody too much, too much control at the wheel, and they get they get a little stir crazy, and you see some of the chats. I don't know if you see some of the chats. Your chat is perfect, but the other chats, they even came into my chat. This Antifa stuff, I don't.
Woo!
Yeah, they came in. They got I bet I got 8 subscribers. And guess who's the first one in? I'm like, whoa, okay, great. Like, really make me feel at home. I was like, you're gonna make me feel comfortable, right? And I just didn't know what to do. Like, I freeze up. I'm like. But
who is your daddy and what does he do?
The machine. So I put the disclaimer. I'm not giving any recommendations. I'm working.
No one should watch this channel, period. That's what I say. My disclaimer, no one should watch this, ever.
Right, exactly.
All right, Fruity Loops, I'm going to let you go. I got someone trying to call in here from Israel.
Okay. Yeah, buddy, I'll see you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, we got Fruity Loops there from Florida, who left New York, former Goldman Sachs employee on the. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel. He's got live streams going on. Okay, wow, we got Layla sending me some really, really, really good stuff here. Okay, I got a lot of stuff from Layla here. Wow, Layla sending me a ton of really good stuff here. Damn. I wish I opened this earlier. I wonder if she's available to come on the show and maybe give us a little bit, okay, we got Supreme Cannon. Let's get Supreme Cannon on. It's been like 2 weeks since we had him on. Let's talk to him for a bit, till about 2 hours of the show, and then we'll go back to another channel plug, and then we'll go get another 4 more callers on for you guys. Yo, Supreme, what's up, buddy? The phone didn't even ring.
No, it just popped up on my screen. Hang on, I just gotta mute this thing here.
Listen.
All that.
I'm getting hot here. Let me take this damn jacket off. Okay. So, I don't know if you were at the beginning of the show when we went over the headlines. Dude, I mean, let's go over a few headlines together, and maybe you could you could talk about some of this stuff, because some of this stuff is just almost impossible to fathom. I mean, if anyone was watching this show from 20 years ago, they would actually think this is satire.
That's pretty science fiction, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. This is one of the bigger stories. Amazon boots Parler off web hosting service. So we went on Parler. I got Parler right here. We're going to go on it right now. Okay, let's refresh it because it's been out of date for a bit. Let's refresh it. And all you have is stories like good versus evil, the origins of American secret police. You don't have anything on here that's doing, you know what they're just people talking.
Well, that's a lot of it too, right? It's just, good God, you're snowed under with rhetorical statements in the comments alone, It is what it is. It's the same everywhere. Every YouTube comment section is the same. Parler apparently they had a Zoom call with Google, and as soon as Google found out they were on a Zoom call and being recorded, they said, "Okay, we want to reschedule," and then they never called back. And then a week later, this censorship program began. Right. So I understand today. I was on Gab. I'm not on Parler at all. I'm not going to bother. Apparently they're going down for a week. Is that about right? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to bother. They're going to come back. They're going to be completely cucked. They're going to be like Twitter. It is what it is. So,
all right. Let's go
ahead. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
I want to go to the first article. 3 people are charged with assaulting a police officer after officer enters family home. Once an officer walks through that frame, isn't it now like he's crossed the line? What do you call? You have no warrant. You're here on my isn't the police now at fault for this?
Absolutely. It's always come down to the same thing as who's going to do anything about it. Right? Like it's kind of a dominance display and a humiliation ritual when they do this stuff. It's like your earlier caller was talking about, okay, the vehicle that JFK was killed in seemed to have been switched. You know what? I'm willing to bet that there were people that saw all of that stuff back then. And what did the powers that be do? They said, oh, well, it's just a conspiracy theory, right? That's all they have to do.
So here's
right?
a copy.
You got people pointing at him and going, we're looking right at you, Sparky. And you did this thing. And, oh, well, it doesn't matter. And then the media just blots it out. And then it goes and it gets relegated to the shadows, right? It's the same with this. Yeah, you've got video of a cop breaking into a building. Until you have torches and pitchforks in the street, it's not going to stop. Why would it?
So here it is. The cop is, he's putting his hands on this woman, basically twisting her arm and saying, I'm going to arrest you. But how could they walk into someone's house and arrest them? Under suspicion that there's too many people in the house, they need to get into the house to do a head count. So if they can't get into the house legally, I mean, this is concerning because if this is happening in Scotland, or England, this is going to happen all over the place.
Well, it is. You saw that thing that happened in Gatineau, right?
In Quebec. But he didn't step through the frame.
He didn't step through the frame, but they came to the door and said, you got too many people here. But the reason they're there, and this is the really scary thing, Mike, it's not the police. It's the fact that there was some Karen down the street, probably some member of the Pussy Hat Brigade or whoever it was that called it in. Okay, like that's Stasi stuff.
Those are the people that correct people's spelling on social media and no one talks to at work and everyone hates them in the family.
Yes, you've got the self-important hall monitors that are going to police everybody's behavior. It's just like the world's going to turn into one great big strata council. It's just going to be lovely. So until those people's houses and cars start mysteriously burning, this stuff is it's going to continue for a while.
Okay, let's move on. We got South Africans burned down 5G towers over COVID-19 fears. I mean, let them do it. Who cares? It's their land. And if these big tech companies are censoring everybody already, who cares?
Yeah, that's right. Well, what they need to do in a case like that is instead of just going ahead and implementing this stuff, well, we're just going to do it. We don't really care and whatever else. What they actually need to do is they need some kind of an education campaign. And they don't bother. They just go ahead and do it. Right. So now you're going to have more and more stuff like this. You got people that are already angry about, this increasing oppression, like this literal personal oppression going on or sense of oppression. Again, they don't need gulags. All they have to do is just cut off your ability to use the grid. They don't have to take the grid down. Right. Like you just wind up living under a bridge. Right.
Like, it kind of reminds me of those families that are dying of dehydration because they cannot no longer tap into the water source they have been tapped into for several hundred of years, to keep their families hydrated and drinking water regularly, because a water company opened up next door to them and then now has the rights to the water, and the villages have no water.
Well, yeah, or that the whole premise of that movie, Aaron Brockovich, right? Pacific Gas and Electric, this hexylated chromium that has been leaking into the water table and causing all kinds of problems in people for years, right? And then they realized what was going on, and there was a class action lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that kind of thing happens. It's like, yeah, they're just going to go ahead and roll this stuff out. Whether it actually is a good thing or whether people want it, they don't ask. They just roll it out, right? Because it's not all about profit, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have the American Empire has fallen, though Washington may not know it yet. How far deep has the American Empire fallen? And now that they've had to change election, redo the election, re-harvest the election, just so that the person that's going to win it doesn't win it. America, for me, is dead because since then. And not only that, your Hill Dog, the Ravens' good friend Hill Dog, was going on a tantrum for 2 days. Why didn't they do that for her during the elections?
Yeah, I think that's actually a meme on Twitter. Why didn't they do that for me? Yeah.
Well, she was actually on a 2-day tantrum over this.
Oh yeah, Hillary, mother love, you betcha. Yeah, she's probably messed up about it. You know,
How deep has the American Empire fallen behind the scenes? How far do you think down it's gone for them to actually fix an election so that the person that's going to win not win it?
Oh boy. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think for most people in the world and a lot of Americans, the downfall of the American empire would be a welcome relief, because really all the American empire is they took Uncle Sam. Okay, they surgically removed his head, put on the head of some kind of Komodo dragon, and they've been using his body and his muscles and sinews to beat up on the world for the last 100 years. And a lot of Americans don't actually seem to realize that. Mm-hmm. Right? So it would be like, okay, America first just means good. America goes home and they tend to their own business and just, commerce with everyone and entangling alliances with none, and go back to some kind of basics. That would be good. That would be a good thing.
Okay.
And I think most Americans feel that way.
Okay, wife of a perfectly healthy Miami doctor, 56, who died of a blood disorder 16 days after getting the COVID vaccine, is certain it was triggered by the jab, as drug giant investigates first death with a suspected link to... There's more deaths than that, but they're just saying that. This is coming from the Daily Mail. So, Supreme, I'm not trying to put you into a corner. These are all like mainstream media sources that I'm reading out to you. So it's nothing from like some weird, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So what about that? So, doctor, they have to kind of report on this because it's all over the news. So what is going on with this? I mean, are you going to take the vaccine?
No, I haven't taken a vaccine since 2003. I don't need it. Right? I don't think anybody, past a certain age, maybe if you, for your comfort level, take it by all means. Sure. And if it's just something, it's a personal choice. Mm-hmm. The whole idea, again, it's the Karen, it's the Global Strata Council saying, well, you don't care about anybody if you don't get the shot, or you don't fall in the line, or, you're a phobe or whatever. It's just the same old shtick they've been doing since the 60s, right? Mm-hmm. That's all. It's just you're going to have to tie it to some inability to live your normal life without it, and that is going to trigger a major uprising.
Well, social credit scores, apparently, from what I've heard from an insider out of Waterloo, Ontario, that was actually working on the software here in Canada, was telling me that they've been building a social network system, a fusion center, so to say, here in Canada, and they've already have one in Australia for the last decade now, but they've been compiling through the fusion centers, through your passports, through your DMV, driver's license, all the stuff you have. They've been compiling it for the last 10 years, and now that they have a matrix of us, and they're going to start following us, and they're going to tell us whether or not we're deemed to travel or we're allowed to do anything. So that's kind of scary.
Oh, absolutely. We've been talking about this stuff for a very long time. The question is how many people are going to accept it? That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to, you know, they have to sell this to you. Like, if it's just a matter of saying, okay, you can go back to your heavily indebted, overstressed 2-hour commutes and hopelessly rising price of everything, including basics like housing, you know, and heat and light and things like that. We'll let you go back to that, thralls. As soon as you sign your soul over to us, metaphorically speaking, let's go with that. Okay. There's lots of people that aren't religious that don't like this stuff either. Right? I mean, there's no personal sovereignty. They're saying, okay, well, you're going to surrender it. They got to sell it to you as a good idea. They got
So
to
they'll
get
call
you
it
to accept it.
the social credit mandatory convenience if you want to live till 80 score.
Yeah, something like that.
So people are, whoa, I want to live to 80. I want to be part of this.
You know, during the 1988, it's a while back now, but during the 88 Olympics, we had, what was his name of that Jamaican runner that ran for Canada and won the gold?
Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson, exactly right. Yeah, it started out Canadian wins the gold medal. That was the cartoons, and then Jamaican Canadian is being tested for steroids or something, and then, you know, Jamaican stripped of gold medal is how it went, right?
Yeah, it starts like, yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah.
But my point was, when they took a survey of the athletes there, and they said, if we could give you a pill, okay, that would make you a gold medal winner but would kill you in 10 years, would you take it?
Mm-hmm.
And 3/4 of them said absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, I know that's how messed up these
10
people.
years.
Yeah,
You know how fast 10 years goes by?
I think the Bruce Jenner saga proves that you don't really look up to the people on the Wheaties box because they don't live balanced lives. Okay, no, I think what it'll ultimately be is something like Brave New World. They're going to say, you can have Soma holidays, and you can have sexual freedom, and we'll give you a job and all that, but you're going to make it to about age 60, and then we're gonna throw you in the burner to generate electricity for the society, kind of a thing, right? Like they're gonna promise you pleasures, and they're gonna promise you prosperity and all kinds of things. We'll cancel your debt, we'll get you a house, we'll get you all kinds of stuff. Just take the ticket, right?
Okay. Curfew now in effect across Quebec. Heavily police presence expected. And there's another article saying only four people tested positive, or 4 people in the hospital for COVID. What? Go ahead, talk.
Okay. Curfew now in effect across Quebec. Heavy police presence expected. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's when you get, people, these little people, these small-minded bug people, that get some authority. Like real
Clip-on tie authority. Clip-on tie authority.
Clip-on tie authority, exactly. They can, it's like All Quiet on the Western Front, Corporal Himmelsstoss, you know, some nobody, a postman who gets a couple of stripes, and then he turns into this strutting martinet that can tell people what to do. Man, these are not big-hearted people. That's all. They're just not big-hearted people. They've got a little bit of authority, and they're running with it. That's to me. That's all. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? All right, well, go home. Like, really, if you're gonna get down to
suck it off the taxpayer's tit.
Pretty much, yeah. How many paychecks have they lost?
None. They're not worried about getting their next meal.
Yeah, how many vacations have they lost? None. It's a real schism between the public and the private sector, especially in a place as Canada with so many socialized things like healthcare and all the rest of it. Right? Is this? They literally can tell you what to do and not to do. And they can withhold care or give it as they see fit. You're giving power to people that really, can't handle it very well.
There's a clip I want to play for you guys here. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but I want to play this clip real quick here with you, Supreme, on the thing. It's from the movie Fargo with the guy with the authoritarian figure. Do you remember the part where he was in the parking lot attendant in the movie Fargo?
Fargo? I never saw Fargo much.
Okay, well, here's a clip from the movie, guys. I'm going to play it. I'm going to raise the volume because I want you guys to hear this.
Okay, I'm going to a bit of a delay, so you'll have to give me a
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, I decided not to park here. Well, what do you mean? You decided not to park here? Yeah, I just came in.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this in another tab. And then I can kind of play it live.
Okay, hold on. I just pause it for a second. So he drives up to the window and says, I'm not going to park here. Okay, so he goes on.
But, well, I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, I decided not to. you know, I'm not, I decided not to take the trip, as it turns out, so. Well, I'm sorry, sir. We still got to charge you the $4. I just pulled in here. I just fucking pulled in here.
Okay, this guy goes into swearing. Then he goes into the whole clip-on tie thing and authority figure with your clip-on tie. Here's your $4. I want to see if I could get the swearing like down to.
Well, but see, there's a minimum charge of $4. Long-term parking charges by the day. I guess you think you're, you know, like an authority figure? That stupid fucking uniform, huh?
Sorry, guys, about the swearing. I'm sorry.
Buddy? King clip-on tie there? Big fucking man, huh?
Sorry, are you catching up to this, Supreme?
I am. I'm just catching up to it. I'm just watching it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Sorry, that came to mind when you told me that. Sorry.
That's part of it. Okay. Like we're all big picture people here focused on the massive evil. Okay. Guys, the minions are the people that have to carry this stuff out. Okay. And the minions are the people that you're dealing with, and they're not impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they're really not. They're not better than you. They're not even theoretically more powerful than you.
No.
All they have to do is not comply. And you cannot comply in 1,000 ways, right? It doesn't have to be torches and pitchforks. At least make them hunt for you if they're telling you, okay, you got to come and take the shot, right? It's like, no, you could delay that, right? Take your social media presence off as many places as you dare, and all of the things that we were talking about prior to 2020, right? About making yourself a small target, right? Of maybe not necessarily off the grid, but just being as unobtrusive as possible.
Right.
Preparing for disruptions, right? If we had a financial crash instead of the great election bug of 2020, okay, you know, it would have been the same thing. You would have been really glad that you had a little cash in the sock drawer. You would have been really glad you had some extra food in the cupboard. You'd have been really glad that maybe you had something a little more kinetic in case, you know, one of the local vibrancy decides to come and help themselves to your stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, you should still be doing that. Yeah. The answer is the same. Yeah. Are the overlords going to send the jackboots to your door? Well, in a case like this, you know, if you're going to have more than 6 people in your house, tell a couple of them to park in the alley. Okay.
Or park in the neighbor's driveway.
Yeah, just so the Stasi cat lady doesn't call, right? Like, you're just going to have to live your life and entertain people more like a speakeasy from the 20s, right?
You know, I wanted to tell you something.
You're going to need a special code, and you know what? It'll be kind of cool.
You know what? Are you ready for this? I've been attending an underground mass.
That's what you were saying before. Yeah.
Like literally underground, secretive.
We're going back to the catacombs. Yeah, people, like-minded people are going to be gathering on a more secretive basis. And in a way, when you think about it, this is someone pointed it out on Twitter a while ago, and I couldn't lie. You know, he said most revolutions, where did they really begin? They began in the coffee houses and the beer halls. Well, they closed them all. So what happened? Well, then
Mike in the Night.
Mike in the Night. That's right. We got our little electronic ones and zeros going here, our little speakeasy. But you also have, you know, you'll just have a situation where people will, you know, they'll start meeting a little more secretly in their own homes. And that's the thing. I mean, you know, okay, if you only have 5 or 6 people at a time, well, okay, then you sort out which 5 or 6 you. Obviously, you know, if you gotta do something like this to, you know, celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's a major level of social retardation going on there. It's
Clip on tie. Okay.
Yeah, they've got to sell you this. They've got to give you an end date for this, right? Because this isn't a war, and people are tired of it.
Yeah.
And people were used to just going out doing whatever they wanted anyway, which had its own terrible side effects, and ultimately led to this. Like I said, this is an economic STD caused by unprotected intercourse with the dirtiest parts of the world. Right? I mean, that's what we're in.
Well,
right
China
now,
has never got a second wave, and they've been free since pretty much after April. So
yeah, their New Year's party in Wuhan was a rocker.
Big
New
rock
York
and
was
roll,
quiet, right? Yeah. Something to look for next year. Maybe.
Despite no lockdowns, mask mandate, Florida has the same hospitalization rate as 2018 flu season. So places like Florida, Portugal, Greenland, Ireland, countries are just not, they haven't conformed to any of this crap, and nothing's happening in those places. It's kind of weird, depending on what part of the earth you are. Nothing happens. It's business as usual.
Sure. Well, if it is a virus, right, sunlight kills them. Vitamin D is prophylactic for all kinds of infections. And obviously you get lots of that in Florida pretty much year round. Okay, there's going to be places where, people are going to wander around and they're just not going to have those kind of problems. You know, like do they have a flu season down there the way that we do in, say,
they do.
Canada?
They do. They do. Yeah, I lived in Florida for many years. I know.
Sure. Yeah, it's not hot there all the time, right? Like
it is hot. It's hot most of the year, but people do get sick when flu season does hit.
Yeah, well, you've got that many people around too, right?
Yeah, so I think more people get the flu. I think I had an ear infection longer when I was in Florida than I did in colder climates.
Right. Well, and this is the thing. It might be a different kind of sickness. I mean, obviously, just because an area is hot doesn't mean that it's free of disease. Otherwise, all those people wouldn't have died trying to, cut highways through the jungle and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. They died of jungle rot.
Yeah, or they drank the tap water or something, right? It's not all bubonic plague. Sometimes it's just there's funky bugs in that type of the world that you don't have here. They just adapt to a different kind of weather.
So you got someone on the microphone here. I got the picture here of her wearing her makeup, and these people all look this kind of deformative, evil look on them. Quebec lays out how COVID curfew will be enforced and how it's being justified. These people aren't worrying about their next meal, and these people aren't worrying about their business getting shut down because of this crap. They don't have to worry because they've been sucking off the taxpayers' tit.
Oh yeah, no, these are lizard people, man. Metaphorically speaking, anyway. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. What's the point of it?
What's the point? You want to hear the point? Watch this. Meet the new Teletubbies. Council recruits men with TV strapped above their heads to walk around the streets and warn the public not to break COVID lockdown rules. So you got these bearded men, 6'2", 6'3", with TV strapped to their heads. You guys can see it there next to me, and walking around the streets of London and showing people to keep away from each other and don't talk to each other and stay away from each other. This is. Are you seeing this, Supreme?
God. Yeah, I saw the pictures there. Yeah. Well, that's performance art at a new level, isn't it?
Dude, what would they think of next? I mean, do these guys get the clip-on tie? Do they have the high-level authority too?
Oh, this is so bizarre. I mean, but you need a license to have a knife there now, right? So,
but dude, this is
what else?
This is coming from the Daily Mail.
Yeah, the lunatics have taken over the asylum, and they're just telling you, we're just kind of taking over. And you don't have any guns, so what are you going to do about it? They're just harassing you now. It's just harassment. It's like I said, it's a humiliation ritual and a dominance display. They're saying, we're going to turn your life into an absolute acid trip, and you don't even get the pleasure from it. Right? You're going to live in the pod and eat the bugs.
Massive power grid failure plunges in Pakistan into darkness, and I'm getting messages from Super Mario here, who is in Italy, in Milan, Italy right now, saying that they've been having rolling blackouts for the last 2 weeks, and they're testing things out, and they've been having rolling blackouts, this is according to Super Mario, for 6 hours at a time.
Wow. Well, I don't know what the purpose of that would be, because if the grid has worked this long, and you haven't had a sudden spike in the population, I don't know why you'd have rolling blackouts. I don't get it.
I guess, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they're just testing things out, honestly.
Yeah,
testing things out, not to like test it out for our benefit, but to test out how far they could go with us until we lose it.
Maybe it might be that might be part of it. It might just simply be a matter of they're trying to gin up some real civil unrest so they can impose an actual martial law. Mm-hmm. They do need pretext to do what they do. Right. We all talk about these evil people operating in the shadows. Well, the thing is, they have to operate in the shadows or we'd kill them. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's like I say, the minions go out and broadcast. OK, well, this is the next little bit of fun in your life we're going to take away. But it's for their common good. And half the population is just get to the point that they're just revolting.
Mr.
It's like, you got to
Singh,
be kidding me.
hold on,
What
Mr. Singh
kind
has
of
a
vote
question in the comments. Mike, are they going to count the votes in the USA? What votes? They were all shredded. They were all photos of them being all shredded. All the votes were being shredded, and the FBI was there. There's nothing they could do about it. Okay, let me go here real quick. So, there's one little article. Sweden has had schools open, over 1 million kids, and no deaths. So a lot of countries not following what's happening in Quebec. 5 people. I'm a betting man, and I'm willing to bet anyone $100 that more people died slipping and dying in the shower, from slipping and dying in the shower, than the 4 people that have COVID in Quebec today.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
I could guarantee. I'm a betting. I'll bet $100 anybody that. I mean, we can't prove it, but I know more people slipped and died in the shower today in Quebec than the 4 people who have contracted it in Quebec. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It gets to the point. Okay, it seems that COVID is something that for most people, 99%, whatever. I don't know. People throw numbers around. Who the hell knows how toxic this thing really is? Obviously, for older people and some younger people. And Layla,
well, I got a radio thing the other day. A woman in Kamloops,
old?
British Columbia, has died today of COVID-related injuries or COVID-related. I'm like, oh, poor thing. What happened? Then the guy kept talking. She was 107 years old.
She was 107 years old. Yeah, her future stolen from her, right? Yeah, this is the thing. Who knows what to believe anymore,
dude? If you're 107, there's a good chance you could have met somebody alive that was in the American Civil War.
Yeah, like for the number of articles and memes and stuff get passed around. Oh yeah, it's just the flu, and then there's always somebody. Well, I'm an emergency room nurse, and oh my God, it's carnage in here. It's like the 1200s in London or something like that. God, please just wear your damn mask, people.
And there's no one in the hospitals.
Yeah, okay, anonymous internet people. Thank you. I'm going to take all of this into account. I don't think this thing is. The way I see it is, yes, either it's some kind of psyop or there is another quality to this virus that has them very, very concerned that it not spread. So either it has some kind of effect on you other than just giving you the sniffles or the cough or making you go on oxygen, whatever it is.
It's like the Premier of Ontario said. It's like the Premier of Ontario said.
Yeah.
Who the hell is the Premier of Ontario when it comes to health? Who is the Premier said? Who cares? The Premier said this is happening.
Said,
the Premier said it, so that means it's real.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing: a Premier or a Prime Minister, especially in the Commonwealth, you only need 20-25% of the population to vote for them to say things like this. So they got 75-80% of the population that doesn't want them there anyway. Why would they listen to them? Yeah, Raven, exactly. Yes. Yeah, for all the feds, all the glowies watching us tonight, we love you. We think you're great, and we know it's all for our own good. And yes, usher in the new world. Thanks for reminding us, Raven, how important that they are to us. We love them so much.
Well, Raven, that's the second code for tonight's show. Okay, Raven, the reply to that is the Indian is in the desert. We left him in Barstow. Okay, continue.
Okay, well... Yeah, as for what's going on with our southern neighbors, obviously we got like 10, 11 sands left in the hourglass, right? If something's going to happen, it can't be allowed to stand the way it is simply because there are now, rightly or wrongly, 75 to 80 million Americans convinced that their candidate, their president, was cheated.
It's not just that; I think billions of people around the world know that.
Well, you know what? Yes, there are way more Trump supporters when you take the world in aggregate than just in America, right? Because, I mean, a
lot of countries were hoping Australia wanted, the conservative people in Australia want Trump to, because they're sick and tired of the sanctions from China on Australia.
Yes.
If I try to call into CNN and say, hey, guys, I know you guys love Nancy Pelosi, and I know you guys love Hill Dog, but that I know you guys don't care, but that your ally Australia is being sanctioned to death by China. Oh, we can't talk about that because that's going to ruin the new relationships that we're having with China. Let them take over Taiwan and then California, and then keep on moving east.
Yes, like it or not, the U.S. is a big kid on the block, and who runs it does seem to matter. Maybe it just sets the theme for the rest of the world, But yeah, there are an awful lot of people, and maybe they're just simpletons. Okay, it's just whatever. The rhetorical statements and opinions are going to scroll by here. That's fine. Okay, but it's usually better when one person is in rather than another, even if it's just steering the ship 10 degrees to the left or to the right. Okay. Yeah, no, you've got a major constitutional crisis down there. And obviously, some of us, like Lord H, know that, yeah, the Constitution of 1871 is not the, quote unquote, Constitution either. I would buy that. Sure. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But people, you still maintained at least the illusion at all times. Well, now they're even withdrawing the illusion.
Well,
That the US
speaking
is
of illusion,
public, and that's a mistake.
humiliation sessions for 75 million Americans. Former CIA Director John, I'm not going to say his last name, wants Mao-like public humiliation session for Trump supporters before they will be accepted back into society.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, I mean, this is the thing. All of the lunatics have come out now. They're talking about cleansing, right? The population. They're talking about stuff like that. Yeah, that's conciliatory talk, people. Why don't you just offer them some gravy? Like if you think they're just low information simpletons, well, then just give them their $2,000 check and let them go back to work.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it should be simple, right?
Hey, I got a shocker.
Just show them that you win them over with love, not we're going to kill you.
We're going to kill you.
We're going to kill you all. You low
All right.
information gap tooth sister bangers. We're going to get you.
Okay, here goes. Ready for this? Canada's first case of South African COVID variant found in Alberta.
Fantastic. Yeah. You know what?
It slipped in someone's wallet. And then when it got past the border and it got past the checkpoints and all the thermometers. Oh, hold on. I got another one from you. You know your friend that can't do 10 push-ups, Bill Gates, the health minister of the world, self-appointed. He says, cloud dimming, could dimming the sun save the earth? Bill Gates wants to spray millions of tons of dust into the stratosphere to stop global warming, but critics fear it could trigger calamity. So he wants to send all this crap up to space and put all this dust up there so people, so it could cool the earth down even further. It's going to put us into a lot of... don't these people understand it has to do with sun cycles, sunspots, sun corona ejections and all that stuff? Don't they understand this? Or are they just being stupid?
Oh, I think they understand it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Al Gore owns a mansion on the coast, that he kind of understood that the ice caps weren't actually going to disappear at 2013. No, it's just gaslighting. They just say whatever. They just say it.
But here's the deal.
We need to spray dust in the atmosphere. Well, you've been kind of doing it for 40 years already, Sparky. There's lots of stuff on the internet showing planes with all kinds of funky tanks in them. Spraying stuff in a grid pattern all over the place. I mean, I don't doubt it's happening. What the purpose of it is, I have no idea. But okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop global cooling now. Is that the deal? Why not just tell everybody to just idle their cars for an extra hour at night? How much right? Like how much jet fuel would it take to put all this stuff in the atmosphere?
Dude, I don't even know anymore. I really don't. I guess.
But this is the thing. They say stuff like this, and people don't question it. Like, you got to be joking. 90% of this is just, pardon the term, bullshit. They're just lying to you. They just say whatever. They're like that abusive spouse. It's okay, baby. Just, put some foundation on that black eye, put your glasses on, and just be a good girl, right?
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Yeah, like, you just chill. Give it 72 hours when you see something, guys. Right? Like, just, okay, all right, file that. All right, well, okay, this is what they're saying on Monday. All right, well, I'll check back Thursday.
Well, here it is. If you're living in Canada, pay attention. Trudy says Canada could see an election this year. I think they want to force an election this year so they could have mail-in ballots just like the U.S., and the Liberals could secure another 4 years.
Well, sure. Why not? I mean, when you get down to it, who is there to vote for? Right? You had the President of the United States and a whole bunch of his supporters kicked off Twitter. Where's Aaron O'Toole talking about censorship? Like this is you know what I mean? Like, this is Shiny happy. I read that. No, and it wasn't like that. That's funny. No, who's there to vote for? You got left and further left. I mean, you might vote for as right as possible.
Well, but the
just to
problem
try
is
to
if you
keep the
get
plane
somebody
from
to run in,
crashing
let's say you
into
get someone to run, but let's say you get someone like a Ross Perot to run. The media's going to be against him. Everybody's going to be against him. They're going to talk to someone that he spoke to in grade 6. They're going to just ruin the guy's life, even though he wants to help us. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, this is the thing with the Ross Perot is, I don't think he had a network behind him. I think he just decided it was time to take a stand. He was a billionaire.
Right.
He had his own plane.
Yes.
He didn't need the money. He didn't need donors.
Exactly.
What he didn't have is the security apparatus. Trump always had his own security. Right? I mean, that was a little bit different.
And then the Bushes
Whether there was
publicly,
people that
the
put him up to
Bushes,
it or what, I don't know, but
his opposing rival that was running against him publicly threatened him, and he had to step down. So what does that leave anybody that wants to go in there and make a difference? Like, it gives you no hope.
Well, that's the thing. The swamp. I don't think it's a matter of draining the swamp. I think they need to go to Home Depot and get some skill saws and just saw off the District of Columbia and tow it out into Chesapeake Bay, where it can be properly disposed of with naval gunfire. Okay, the United States of America is older than Washington, D.C. They don't need those people. They don't need that place. So what they need to do as the individual states is they need to start disregarding the federal government a lot more. Politics is going to get more radical and it's going to get more local. We'll know if Trump and the military or whatever's going on, because and there was a lot of talk. Okay, I'm not going to get into this Q-tart stuff at all. Okay, and whatever. Okay, be logical. You got 3 branches of government. All of them sworn to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution. I'll just go over this real quickly. You got the legislative, right, that makes the laws and stuff. You got the judiciary that interprets the laws, and then you've got the executive branch. All 3, okay, are tasked to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. They're sworn to it. Okay, well, the legislature is cucked and compromised. Okay, they pussed out. You got the judiciary. Well, obviously, at least at the highest court, the Supreme Court, you got a couple of conservatives there too. You got a couple of guys who have no stones, or someone's got pictures of them banging a baby. God almighty, pick your conspiracy. It doesn't matter. Okay, they're not going ultimately do anything. That leaves the executive. It's the executive's job, if the other 2 won't do their job, to do theirs. So the first that you'll know something's happening if all of a sudden the lie machine, okay, Netflix and NBC and CNN and all this stuff and Twitter and all the rest of it, okay, just turns into an arm of the emergency broadcast system. That's how you'll know something's going on.
Right.
Unless that happens, Q is leftist deception. Yeah, I've heard that theory too. You know what? Q is real because it's a phenomenon. That's all. Okay, is it a psyop? Sure. Who's running it? Who knows? Okay, but it was a counter narrative that emerged with 50 million believers inside of 3 years without the permission of the powers that be. So even if it was just an experiment, it was a successful experiment. That's all I'm going to say about Q. But we are literally to the point where if Trump is going to avoid him and his family hanging, okay, by these people who intend to use everything against us, okay, he's got about 8-9 days to make his move.
Well, they censored him, so they can't allow him to.
Well, that's the thing. At a certain point in time, all these executive orders that he signed for the last 2-3 years come into effect, and it's out of his hands, right? I mean, the executive, in terms of he gives the order, and at that point in time, the military, however they're going to do it, maybe it's just the cyber warfare section, maybe it doesn't involve troops at all, are going to have to do something. This was a violation of the Constitution. This was obviously a stolen election in plain view. And again, it's another domination ritual, another domination display and a humiliation ritual, and a whole bunch of bluff and a whole bunch of gaslighting and a whole bunch of threats to people to back off or we're going to kill you. These people, they were crazy before. They have lost their shit. They are absolutely beside themselves. And I think it's because Trump knocked them off schedule. Okay, Grandma was supposed to take this 4 years ago. That's what's happened. I maintain there is a civil war going on among the elites. Civil wars among the elites are as old as elites.
Right.
It's not unprecedented. The idea that it couldn't happen today is a joke. Of course it could. You know, you've heard of the Wars of the Roses or the
The reds and the reds and the whites.
Yeah, there was wars among the warring states in China, right? The Holy
families.
Roman Empire.
The Japanese, the shogun families were battling over turf for years.
Yeah, the Holy Roman Empire, for crying out loud. You had all these different little principalities and larger states and stuff like that, and they are all technically part of the same empire, and all they ever did was fight each other. Right? So I mean, yes, elites struggle all the time. This is nothing new. And anyway, the idea that everybody's in Rothschild's pocket, you think Lucifer only has one pocket?
The devil could play many people.
Yeah, exactly. You know, let's go there for a minute, okay? Why does there only have to be one elite? Like, really? I mean, you know, when and I'm going to use, okay, all right, some of you are you're not religious at all. Cool, that's fine. All right, I'm going to use just real quick. I'm going to use an example.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
New Zealand bloke. My link, it talks about the New Zealand privacy commissioner condemning the censoring of Trump. Can you send us the link on that one there? The New Zealand privacy commissioner telling people that it's nice to censor Trump. Yeah, New Zealand's also gone by the wayside, just like Australia, just like the UK. Anywhere that opened their doors to foreign investing is crippled right now. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay, so you've got agents operating all over the world. That's true in the secular sense, and for the spiritual people, you know what I mean? It's happening there too, right? It's as simple as that. Okay, you had the prophet Elijah. God told, because he thought he was the last guy left, right? Jezebel was basically was like Hill Dog. She was going to send somebody with a bolt-action rifle to help him commit suicide, right? So he's out in the desert, and God says, I got 7,000 people just like you. You're not the only one left.
Right.
Okay, so he let him know, I've got other people out there that probably don't even know each other working for me. Okay, Jesus said something along that line, I believe. Some of you would know the chapter and verse. He said, I have other flocks you don't know about. So what these people are telling their disciples and their agents, if you will, in this world is, yeah, you're important, but you're not the only game in town. You're not that important. Okay, my whole plan isn't hinging on you. Don't worry about it. If you want a more secular example, you know, Hillary, apparently when she was everybody's favorite girl, Hillary, Mother Love herself, gave up the names of 22 CIA operatives in China. Well, this big old surveillance state didn't know them. Didn't know they were there, didn't know their names.
Right.
Until Hillary turned them over. Oh, okay, we'll go find them. One of them was a young woman who was expecting her first child. She was about to give birth. It meant nothing. They executed her. Right. I mean, God rest these people's souls, but this kind of thing happens all the time. So if it can happen, right, like Raven said, he quoted something old Meyer Rothschild said, you know, really back in the 1800s, right, about give me control of a nation's currency. I don't know who makes the laws. Yeah, but you make laws, but that's not necessarily the rules. Okay, I mean, rules and laws are for the little people. And there are lots of elites, and they don't like each other. They've all got stuff on each other. They're all kept under control by the same.
Why do you think the Chicago, Chicago, New York, all these major police syndicates don't move in on the mafia, or they haven't moved in the mafia for decades? Why? Because the mafia has leverage on them.
Of course, they're paid off, or they're blackmailed.
They're blackmailed. Majority of them are blackmailed.
Think about the Chinese, right? They haven't won a war in 100 years. I mean, they attacked Vietnam after the U.S. pulled out. They lost 30,000 dead 3 weeks.
Yeah,
they suck. They're not a military superpower. They probably never will be. They're a literal Chinese fire drill. But they use blackmail, bribery, okay, or honeypots. They send those cute little Asian girls that we all dream of, because God knows our own women hate us so much, right? And they get a bunch of guys, you know, hooked, right? They get compromising pictures of them. I mean, this is out of Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu said the same thing, you know, send women or, you know, young boys or whatever to beguile them. I mean, those are quotes like from the translation. I read Sun Tzu probably 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you gain leverage over people, and you have agents operating. Well, now the reality of the level of the depth of the compromise is coming into the light. No one is going to listen to these people. They're going to get pushed back everything they do. You're going to have networks. You're going to have more, You know what I mean? You're going to have, it's just going to get more fragmented.
Yeah,
in a way. It's going to get more local and it's going to get more radical. That's all.
Okay.
You know, I mean, politics is going to get more radical anyway. These people are talking about instituting basically a communist regime. That's not radical politics. You know what I mean? No, that's balanced. That's like, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so it comes down to, if all that stuff comes to light, or enough of it comes to light, okay, not only does that create headwinds for the existing elite, okay, but it also opens doors for new elites to emerge. Okay, was Lenin a member of the elites before, you know, he walked into Petrograd with $20 million in German gold? No, he wasn't. Right? That came later.
What about...
He had back...
But let me ask you something. What about the people that get thrown in jail for a small marijuana offense, but Slick Willie Clinton has a nose like a vacuum, his brother said, when he snorts up stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Same deal. Dominance display, right? Yeah. Little guys get, you know, they find a roach in their ashtray and they spend 30 years in jail. And the CIA hauls cocaine north of the border, and then they haul guns south of the border for the cartels. And that's
Operation Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious, yeah. And everybody knows about it, and nothing happens.
Oh, of course. Imagine that. Right? Imagine that Trump did that. Holy crap! He'd be on a tribunal, and we'll hang him on a public square.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's an unequal application in front of your face, right? Favoritism and all of these things. I mean, guys, if you've ever been the subject of, okay, or planned and thrown a surprise birthday party, okay, you've been involved in a conspiracy. They're as old as time, right? It's just as simple as that. But there's more than one conspiracy going on in the world at a time. Right? Like China, obviously, okay, maybe they're run by this family or whatever. Well, if that's the case, why wouldn't the Russells just give them all the intelligence? Why would they have to send spies everywhere?
Right.
I mean, okay, yeah, you can gin up wars, and okay, the First World War, the Second World War, yeah, Albert Pike and Morals and Dogma and all the rest. Okay, got that. But it still comes down to, why bother? If you've got all the information, you already control the world. Yeah, Layla, no, I don't think they've sorted out their differences. And this is, I want to point out one more thing here while I'm online, and then you've got other people want to call in. We're talking about Agenda 2030, okay, and it's being run by people who are in their 90s. Does anybody see the math problem here? Yeah, it's not that simple. It's just not that simple, guys. Yeah. Okay, I'm not saying they're not dangerous. I'm not saying that one elite replacing another is necessarily the best news for us. I'm not talking about the initiation of some new golden age. Okay, because a golden age for one people usually means it just sucks for somebody else. The Ottoman Empire had a golden age. That sucked for Serbia. The Mongols had a golden age. That sucked for Russia and Hungary and China and everywhere else. Right? The British Empire had a golden age. Well, that sucked for like West Africa and the Boers. Right, America is having a golden age, and well, that sucked for a lot of it. Sucked for Syria, right,
and Mexico, and South America, and
fill in the blank. Exactly right. Yeah, it's all relative. It's all relative. We have, you know, we've had some time. Okay, I think we had a bit of a stay of execution. Hopefully, you people put it to good use. We've done the things we've been talking about, at least in the 2 years I've been on here. You should make yourself anti-fragile anyway, because it's just common sense.
It's fragile. It's Italian.
Fragile, yeah. Just be less fragile. That's all. And you know, reduce your footprint as much as possible so that you're unobtrusive.
Well, it's kind of tough when you're on mic in the night.
It's kind of tough when you're on mic in the night, absolutely, because all the glowies are here checking this out. Ravens are fed, obviously, you know, and you know, I'm kidding, buddy. You know what I mean? But it comes down to, in the end, who cares? We're nobodies.
In the end, who cares what anybody says about anybody in the end? It doesn't matter.
So we're on a list, right? It's still going to be the same lazy civil servants coming to get us.
Oh, the pot-belly clip-on tie civil servant.
That's right. Pot-belly clip-on tie with, you know, donut crumbs on it. And it's like, yeah, here you're against the New World Order. You come with us, please. You know what I mean?
Let me play that clip again. All right, Supremo, I'm going to let you go. I got to do a channel plug here real quick. And I want to get Layla on over in Syria, if that's okay, and find out if everything's okay, because she's got something she needs to add, because she's obviously saying quite a bit here in the comments.
Sure. Yeah. No, looking forward to hearing her. You betcha.
Okay.
We all look forward to hearing from Layla.
Of course.
Okay. Well, it's great to interact, guys. God bless. And we'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon. God bless you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's do a quick channel plug and get our last caller in. Guys, I want to appreciate everyone that supports the channel. Guys, don't forget to set your reminders for this Wednesday's show. It's called 2021, the year of the bull. We're going to have call-ins from finance, stock talk, housing crash, housing survival, rental forbearance, all kinds of crap. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook if you guys want to. I'm on Facebook too. I really want to see you guys on there. Guys, if you want to send show tips, you guys need to send me my show tips to my Instagram. If you go to the page here, let me see if this goes back to my page here. Okay, go to Instagram. Okay, guys, please send me your show tips on Instagram. It's easier for me to get on here and read the show tips. Even if you have a Facebook, just go on Instagram. You don't have to upgrade Instagram at all. Just message me on here. It's easier for me to open the links. Facebook's a little bit tough. Guys, don't forget to buy something on Teespring. Guys, I don't know if Parler, let's refresh Parler. No, Parler's still up. No, Parler's still up. Let me see if it's midnight California time. So, yeah, so Parler is still up. And let's move on here to, guys, don't forget to check me out on eBay if you can. Guys, if you want to buy something and you're in North America, buy something from my eBay store. I'll ship it to your door. And Art by Dano, artbydano.net. Check him out. And Trading Live. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Fruity Loops channel, where he is trading live for you fine folk to really teach you guys a thing or two. All right, it is Mike in the Night. We need to talk. Blunt News. I need Blunt News to come on next week to update us on where crypto's going to be. Who knows where crypto's going to be by next week. We'll get him back on the show next week. We'll get Tommy Hitting Stacks on. We'll get him on next week. Give us an update on what's going on. I know they're going into another lockdown in Australia. Let me see if Layla is alive and well and wants to come on the show to give us a little bit of an update on. I just opened her thing because she sent me a bunch of really good links to the show.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Yeah, managing.
Did you see that Fargo clip that I put up earlier?
I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't. I missed most of the show. I was working this morning. I'm planning a trip and I'm really busy, so trying to get some things out of the way. What was that clip about?
It's just the guy with the clip-on tie. They're telling him he has to pay for parking even though he decided not to park in the parking lot. It's actually a very powerful clip. That's why you go on YouTube. It's like a 1.5 minute clip, and you could actually just type it in. It'll come up right away because there's a very powerful message in that 1 minute, and that's what's happening.
Where did that happen?
No, this is just from a movie from 1996. But
gotcha.
The message is powerful because now that's what's happening. So I'm going to play the clip for everybody to watch right now. It's only a few seconds long here. There's a lot of swearing, so please cover your ears here. I like this. I've decided not to park here.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
How you
Yeah, I
doing?
decided not to park here. Well, what do you mean? You decided not to park here? Yeah, I just came in. I decided not to park here, so. But, I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, I decided not to.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear the clip, Mike, because I'm on my phone, and I also watch on my phone. I'd have to open up my computer.
No big deal. I'm just playing it for the people here.
$4. I just pulled in here. I just fucking pulled in here. Well, but see, there's a minimum charge of $4.
$4.
Long-term parking charges by the day.
Then he goes on to say,
I guess you think you're, like an authority figure? That stupid fucking uniform, huh, buddy?
calls him an authority figure, throws the $4 in his face.
Man, huh? These are the limits of your life, man. Rule of your little fucking gate here. Here's your $4, you pathetic.
Anyways, that's what's happening. Okay, Layla, lay it out for us. What's going on, my friend?
I don't know, Mike. What do you have in mind? I think I sent you a bunch of things, but
You did.
I
You
think
sent
over a
me a
while.
quadrillion links here, which is really good. I should have opened this earlier. I just don't have my Skype on all the time. That's the problem. To get these, let me go into the chat. So Torontonians may soon be able to sit.
Oh yeah, that's the most recent one I think I said. So there's going to be internet coverage all over Toronto. So this looks like the 5G rollout to me. You know, they were saying in that article that they're going to have internet on bus stops, on benches, you know, in parks,
but no one could go outside.
Right, that's such a good point, Mike.
Well, I know you're in
I guess
Syria
you could go
and
outside on your own for that 1 hour a day, right?
Well, but Layla, you're in Syria, and I think Syria's business as usual, and I don't think there's any lockdowns there.
Did you see the video I sent you for Christmas? Not the church one that I filmed, but I think after that I sent you a video about there's a major church in Syria that everyone goes to on Christian holidays, you know, like everyone, Christians, non-Christians, like everyone.
Hello?
Video there, and everyone is packed on the stairs of the church. And it's like, yeah, that's social distancing in Syria.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no
saw
one
that. Yeah,
social
I saw that. But to be frank
Yeah.
with you, like, it's business as usual in most of the world. But why are they clamping us down so hard? Quebec shutdowns, Florida's open for business, and there's less people in the hospital, less people with the flu, cases than 2018. What the heck is going on?
I'm starting to think that COVID is a first world problem, but I think there's something special about both Canada and Australia.
Okay,
I think,
you know, I've been linking Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK together for a long time now.
Well, yeah, sure enough. But there are deals with China. I think that is affecting the picture. And I think they're going to come down stronger on Canada for reasons that I've believed for a long time. That I think Canada is really difficult to operate in, and it's not a really good return on investment. So it's just really hard to operate in Canada, and especially in the northern part. So I feel they're doing a lot of things to shrink down Canada as a whole. You know, recently I came across some videos, and these are old. These are 6 and 7-year-old videos about, you know, topics like a world without Canada, and it's like. And the video is it's so tricky, right? The video, the books, and these articles around this topic is that, you know, the contributions of Canada to the world. But it's like, you know, they also slip in these funny messages in there, like, you know, what the world would be like without Canada. I don't know. It was just really weird. And then, you know, there's this, you know, the NAFTA thing, how it would unify North America. You know, possibly these things are still underway, so I think Canada is maybe special in this way. But in general, I think the most obvious one is that it's just really hard to operate in Canada. It costs a lot. It's not densely populated. You know, the projects don't return on investment. You know what I mean? So they would bring the
Layla?
along the border with the U.S. It's
Oh,
possible.
we lost you there for a second. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I'm thinking the border closures here. What's happening? And I've spoken to a lawyer friend. I had a lawyer in Florida, in the state of Florida. His name was Justin. I have a lawyer here in British Columbia, in Vancouver. His name is Justin. They're different lawyers. But my lawyer, Justin in Florida, told me that they're headhunting nurses up in Canada big time. To come down and work as a nurse in the hospital, because Florida's as business as usual, and I think you're going to see different pockets and patterns in different states do it differently when it comes. And I think these border closures are set up.
Do what differently, Mike? Differently?
No. Let me explain. They're going to be headhunting differently, but I think they have the border closed from Canada, and they're telling people not to leave because we're experiencing a mass brain drain of experienced workers. Hello? Hello, are you back? Oh, we lost Layla. Let's get Tommy in. We're getting a really bad connection tonight with Okay, oh wait, we got somebody here from Wisconsin that wants to call in that's been messaging me 36 times. Buddy isn't answering here. Layla is not working. Her internet, I don't know what's wrong with it. So there's, I think, too many people calling at the same time. Okay, let's call Tommy here, hitting stacks. He sent me a pile of... So he's got something he wants to tell us for a few minutes. So let's get him. He keeps messaging me on... Hello?
Yeah, Mike.
Okay, tell us. What do you need to tell us? You're blowing up our comments. What do you need to tell us? You said something about Australian nurse.
Really quick. So I've sent you the pictures. If you want to open it up.
I'm gonna go right now.
Like a double test. They were both negative. So if
you got your testing. Yeah, you got your testing because you had to.
Picture of the road just outside of the hospital, that major road, and my first test was in like those pop-up clinics. It was negative, which was on the 31st of December, Sydney time. Whilst the second test was in this hospital, Canterbury Hospital is in Sydney. And what happened was it was negative again it was on the 5th of January. So I'm finally free on the 8th, and then on the 9th and 10th, I mean on the 8th and the 9th I'm free, but I had to go to work. And at the hospital, like one of the nurses actually had like a conversation asking about like COVID and stuff, and then we actually talked like about politics like all of a sudden. So like the conversation just went off topic for like 20 minutes. And then she told me she working as a nurse for many years, she said influenza or like bird flu, right? That kills more people than COVID 5 times. So for every 1 COVID death...
already, at the beginning of the show, with the 4 people in Quebec that they're shutting down the whole province, having curfew, bootstraps to the neck.
Brisbane,
I can bet you $100 bucks.
Even be locked. I mean, Brisbane shouldn't be locked.
I can bet you $100 bucks
when I
that more people die slipping in the bathtub. I'm looking here at your COVID biological test. Is that your test there?
Said Brisbane's closed. It's like so bad. I didn't know they would close Brisbane. That was like very unexpected.
Is this your test kit?
Yeah, that's my test kit.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
So there's your test kit right there. So I don't understand. So here's your results. Negative.
Yeah.
Negative. And then there's your sample. Negative.
That's the road over there, and then it was on a sunny day, and the road there wasn't many cars. And as I left the hospital, I didn't see much people coming out. There wasn't because a hospital is crowded if the emergency cars as well as the patient's family cars are crowding outside, but it's not crowded. Most of the parking spaces were empty. But again, I didn't film because of what happened in the UK.
Oh, if you filmed, to put you in jail if you filmed the empty hospital room.
Yeah, but I filmed the road like beside the hospital and it was empty. I mean, if there was like a mass outbreak, then that whole road would be packed because that road is called Canterbury Road and it leads directly into the hospital. So I know for a fact that if there's going to be like a mass testing, that whole road is going to be blocked off, but that's not the case. So the media is being exaggerating. They only film like parts, right?
Oh, don't be silly. They have these overflowing parking lots, and then somebody goes and fills it. Yeah. They go to jail.
Yeah, but that's not the case. And on that nurse, I asked her like directly, do you know Dr. Rashid Bata, the guy who whistleblowed on the COVID, the doctor. Rashid Bata, the American doctor, and then she said she knows, and then she said like all she can do is like pray, like she does believe in like some conspiracy theories, and then she said it could be like either inside like
don't
she
be
has like
silly.
inside...
They laid off 600 more nurses from Sydney hospitals.
Yeah. She said like the hospital stuff, like there's not much people like test. Like in the clinic, I was like the only one. And then I saw like the nurses and stuff like all talking to each other, like all looking bored. So they haven't had like anyone visit them in like an hour. Like it's just all barren. And then I see the receptionist just like bored, like on her phone or doing something else. Because no, it's actually not that packed at all. It's
I believe
completely
you.
contrary.
There's nobody in those hospitals. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, there's nobody. Yeah, there's nobody. And then I asked, like, what about the deaths? And she said, like, the majority of deaths are, like, attributed, again, to other conditions. It's not because of COVID. And she said, like, influenza is, like, underreported and bird flu is underreported compared to COVID.
Of course it's underreported!
Even though influenza and the bird flu death is 5 times more. So for every 1 COVID death, there's 5 bird flu death.
Oh, no.
So
For every 1
that's
COVID
irony.
death, there's 9 people slipping in the shower and dying.
Yeah, and there's one more thing about the Florida one. I was already shocked this morning to hear of what happened to the Florida doctor, the one age 56.
Yes.
That died because of the Pfizer vaccine. At first, I was like skeptical as well. I was like, this doesn't like I don't fully trust it. And then when the what's it called, the doctor actually died, and then I was like, no, I'm not getting that vaccine.
Oh,
And
come on,
again,
don't be,
all those
walk
so-called
it off,
celebrities
walk it off.
that are like endorsing this, all these celebrities that are endorsing this, those are all fakes. Like, we don't know they actually got injected. It's like
It's the
what
plastic
you said.
tip. We saw that
it's a
already
plastic,
with Netanyahu.
And then now like the UK is coming out saying like the Queen and Prince Charles are getting the COVID test.
It's a plastic needle. There's no tip.
I don't believe that. I don't believe a single word. Just like when they said like this celebrity or like Prince Charles got the COVID positive, I don't think it's true. I think it's just to like create panic, and then people just get FOMO and then just get the vaccine.
I'll be
back. I think that's just their agenda.
Okay, Tommy, I'm going to let you go. We'll get you on next week for a bit more time. Let me get Layla back on. She's...
Yeah, sure. Mike, just one more thing regarding the 10 reasons why I want to leave Sydney. Do you know when I can do that? Is it possible to do it tomorrow?
I'll try tomorrow. I got like 50 things planned with the family, even though it's...
okay.
Like, it's my day off, and I got so much stuff lined up, like, for the next 2 days. Solid.
Yeah.
I'm, like, booked solid. I can't even sleep, dude.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
Because I like in Australia, I have Sunday and Monday off. But
so that's my
like,
Saturday and
Sunday.
That's my Saturday
like
and Sunday.
Because it's 1 day behind.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. I'll message you on Skype in the next day or two, and we can work something out. I promise. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk soon. God bless you.
Cheers, brother.
See you, brother.
God bless. Bye.
Yeah. So, okay.
I'll be back.
All right. Let's get Layla back on. I hope she's okay.
Sarah Connor. I'm a friend of Sarah Connor.
Hey, Mike. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem.
I'll be back.
It's good that you're back. All right. The reason what I was telling you is they're headhunting pretty hard for Canadian nurses to come down, and Canada's experiencing a brain drain of It's been happening for years, but they're headhunting really strong right now up in Canada because right now, I think in Ottawa and Montreal and other provinces, they laid off thousands of nurses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just letting you know that we're losing a lot of like important workers is what I'm saying.
They laid them off?
Oh, they laid off. I read the articles on the channel the last couple of days. More and more nurses are getting laid off in Canada, like in thousands.
Oh, I thought we had a COVID crisis.
Oh, no. We're got to go back. We have to go back to timeline 401.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the wrong timeline here. No. No, we're on this timeline 401, unfortunately, where they're laying off nurses like crazy. And my friend, again, my lawyer friend Justin in Florida, basically was telling me that they're headhunting big time up in Canada for nurses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So many of them got laid off.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you have a few articles about that, Mike? I'd love to see them. Do you think you can
read
send
them already
to me?
on the show like a couple of weeks ago.
Earlier today? Oh,
No.
I
read them on like the channel over time. Nurses. I read it on Morning Coffee with Mike.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'd have to fish that out. Okay, thanks.
Let me see. Ontario and Alberta. There's lots of them. Okay, this is on Tuesday. Hospital 97 nurses laid off. And then Ontario hospitals lay off another 100 nurses. Layoffs in Windsor. Ford ignoring targeted, allowing layoffs of more nurses. Let me see if I can find it. It's not in Ontario. There's more. Nurses laid off, Canada. And see if I can find the exact article I read. Alberta Health to lay off 11,000 staff from their health, including nurses and doctors. That's 11,000 in Alberta. Amidst pandemic, more nurses to be laid off in December. RN layoffs announcement. Windsor, again, more nurses. Let me see if I could find the one in BC. There's like 600 nurses got laid off a few days ago. Yeah, 1,200 BC healthcare workers.
That's a really good list as it stands.
Yeah, and nurses laid off,
Wow.
and that's
Wow,
union
that is,
says among the group has informed that 204 care day nurses have been laid off, and cleaners and dietary workers and pediatricians have been laid off. Oops, I forgot to open
That's
article
a lot.
scan.
That
It's
is
right
plenty.
here. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. It's interesting how this is happening and the way it's happening, but it's happening. So, yeah, they're headhunting. So Justin calls me and says, Mike, you know, they're headhunting big time because he's an immigration lawyer. And he's like, he's already given citizenship but work visas, green cards. And basically he tells him, hey, do you want to buy a house for 140 grand with a pool, a 4-bedroom? They're like, yeah. And you want to make 50 to 60,000 a year, but you get to take most of it home because Florida is a work-free state. Hey, that's more money than what I make in Canada because in Canada my money buys me nothing. You can't buy a house, you can't buy an apartment, you can't even pay rent. So he's telling me he already gave green cards to like over 100 plus nurses from Canada in the last month alone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just in the last month. He's actually keeping track of it for me. He's going to let me know how much of our talent they're stealing.
Well, well, they're being laid off by Canada, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good they're finding work, and especially in view of the fact that there are lots of Americans that are out of work too. You know, it's too bad that like I know that Canada and the US have a close relationship, but there's still a lot of Americans on the streets. You know, it'd be nice if they can hire their own people and then think of people abroad. But you know,
Well, they
these
have a
Canadians
massive-
are being laid off as well, and
But
you know,
Florida
Canada's really
Florida
expensive.
doesn't have lockdowns, and it's business as usual. And there's a lot of elderly people that go retire and die in Florida. I might die in Florida myself.
Yeah.
So-
It is. It is one
There's
of
20
those
million people. It's
places.
almost the population of Canada. So think of it
Yeah.
like that, right? So there is a shortage of nurses and doctors, right?
Yeah. So Mike, how are the lockdowns where you are?
In the major city, it's on lockdown, but it's on code red. Now the code red is moving towards Regina, Saskatoon. There's a code red right now in Quebec, and there's a code red right now in Ontario. And I think four people are in the hospital with COVID in Quebec. And I could bet you $100. I've been saying this all night that more people slipped and died in the shower this morning than people that contracted the virus this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. From the very beginning. And whatever happened to the flu, right? It's not even a virus. It's not even a new virus. It's just a mutation, if it's anything at all. And of course, I don't believe that. But I really think, Mike, that Canada is heading for a complete lockdown. I really think that at least some parts are going to go through a Victoria type of shutdown. You know, I think they can bring down the whole country as well. They keep escalating the numbers in Ontario. They keep dramatizing the numbers. They keep
Overflowing
increasing the
parking
numbers.
lots.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
someone goes and films it, they go to jail.
Yep. Yeah. And no, that was in Montreal, but they're doing similar things in Ontario as well. And something that's going under the radar, I think, is the increasing crime rate. I mean, now every week I'm seeing 2 or 3 items in my feed about a shooting in Toronto, a stabbing in Toronto. You know, this never happened before. Like you had crime. You know, in 2018, Toronto surpassed New York City, but it's getting out of hand. And I think another article that I sent you is a
I'm gonna say it right now.
25% cut of the police.
I'm going to say it
the
right now.
police budget.
I'm going to say it right now. I have it open. I already know what you're going to say. I could read your mind. We're soulmates. Listen to this. Up to $340 million could be diverted from Toronto police with civilian services to handle calls instead. So
I think it's already been diverted at this point. I think this article is maybe a week and a half older. So, but I think that went through. That went through proper.
see how I can read your mind?
Yes, we are soulmates, mate. It's because you're Pisces, right? You told me, Mike, the other day as well.
That's right. I'm a Pisces. And I'm a Portuguese. So, okay. So here's the deal. I was going to make a video about this, an independent video about this, but I thought, I don't know how to kind of, I like right now, if I call the police and say someone stole my car, the police will say, well, that's a civil problem. We're not involved. right?
Yeah, that's possible. That's
No,
possible.
it's not possible. Many people on my street got their pickup truck stolen, and the police are not interested. Buddy posts on Facebook, police are not interested in looking. If you've seen my truck, can you please notify me? You know? So it's a civil matter, right? So it's a civil matter for that, but they could come into your house and count how many people are in your house and arrest you. Yeah. So 340 million. So to be honest, if I call the police,
suicides are up as well.
Oh, suicides are going crazy.
At least with the TTC, you know how the TTC keeps track of that because of the tracks, Mike?
Yeah.
So at least the TTC, it's 30% up. And something really sad is that, you know, the Don Valley Parkway Bridge, Mike, people are leaving notes over there to like kind of hope notes and, you know, kind of loving kind of notes at the bridge so that people don't jump. It's so sad. You know, I couldn't believe it when I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Especially the people that bought into this student loan crap. And I get a lot of, you know what I get a lot of emails from, Layla? When I get piles of emails, there's like some days I get 300 emails. And do you know what 250 of them are? Student loan debt. Student
loans. You know, it's interesting you bring this up, Mike, because recently in the US, they changed the rules around student loans to make it eligible for bankruptcy. And I think there's a very, very big push towards bankruptcy. And I think that's going to lay the ground for more UBI coming in. Mm-hmm. They changed the rules around the bankruptcy laws to allow student loans to be, you know, people with student loans to file for bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. It's really like they're encouraging it. And on top of that, the recent stimulus doesn't cover student loans. So you see how they're trying to push people into filing for bankruptcy. And another article that I think I sent you was this like completely arrogant a headline that said that now people are more confident to file for bankruptcy. You know, that the vaccine or something crazy like that is making people more confident to file for bankruptcy. It's ridiculous the way they're putting it. I think there's plenty more bankruptcies happening in Canada than we can capture. I think they tend to be more, I might be wrong, but I feel that the numbers are more candid from the US than they are in Canada.
Hold on, I got a message here. I got a message here from a small informant that I have who's working on the. Okay, I'm not gonna go in too deep on this because I can't read this entire message out. I'm just gonna pick it apart. Okay, he is a police officer in the state of California now. Okay, something about a meeting. Hold on, a meeting. Okay, and COVID deniers or COVID. COVID deniers. And I'm just trying to read this out because if I read this out in its entirety, they could find out who wrote this. Like, because this is a very serious message. Okay. Hey, Mike, COVID deniers. Okay, he's a police. We know that. I know that. I think he's called into the show a year or two ago. Apparently what he's saying is they're going to do a seizure act, a search and seizure act for people that go against or break COVID laws. And a county in California is looking to pass a law that if they go against COVID laws, COVID attendees in the house, or breaking any outside perimeter rules, distancing, that they could take a home bought and paid for, vehicles bought and paid for, and the county could seize vehicles, homes, and real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming from a guy who was in a meeting that they were discussing this for the police.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And who's going to stop them? I think no one is. You know, I have to disagree with Supreme on this one. I know Supreme is really, and a whole lot of others as well. You know, folks are really confident that they're going to be stopped. I'm not seeing who's going to stop them. There aren't enough precedents of people stopping them from doing these things, at least in some parts. But you know, you need like a consistent record. Like they take your kids and they castrate your kids, and you know they do all sorts of evil things, and no one has stopped them yet. So I'm not so confident that they're going to be stopped. I think this would probably require a bigger war. I think I'm afraid to say. Yeah, tell me, Mike.
My problem is if they could enact a search and repossession act for going against COVID. Apparently what he's saying here, I don't want to read the full message because there's too much information in here. and it's going to pinpoint to a specific person. But basically what he's telling me is this meeting, it's been going on for a while. They've been discussing it. They're actually trying. So Canada's the type of country would say, oh, wait a minute, why don't we start taking people's properties away that don't believe in this COVID thing? That's now something they're thinking about doing in California and vehicles.
You know, I think that is not far at all. I think it's already happening in different ways. And another thing that I was looking up, Mike, because I was locking horns with Leaf over the weekend, or over crypto just over the past couple of days, and crypto people seem to think that they're invincible and that their cryptos can never be seized and things like that. And I keep trying to make the point that people don't own the networks, and by that I mean the physical networks, the hardwares that the internet and other connections they run on, like your phone lines. So I went ahead and looked up, who actually owns the networks, and it's actually the telecommunication companies that are regulated by the government, that are semi-government enterprises like the big threes in Canada and BT in the UK. So they own the networks, and I went ahead and looked up some of the rights that they have, and it's just like any other kind of infrastructure or public or private property. They can seize the network, they can shut down the network if they deem it an emergency. And that's the thing about the emergency laws, is that they are complete carte blanche, for the government to do anything. When the government decides that there's an emergency, they can tell you that there's a national security threat. They're going to blame it on Russia or China, and they're going to shut down the network. And they're going to say, oh, this is in the interest of the people. So they can do just that, and just like Lord was saying, I think I caught him say earlier that you're not going to take the wallet on your hard way to the store to buy bread. I don't think so.
What about laptop?
So I think it's your cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, they are doing this, and I think, Mike, in Canada, it's going to happen faster than you folks realize. Earlier on, I sent you that article by the Irish Sentinel. It was one of the versions of that article. I ran it by Angela. Do you know Angela, Mike, the mysterious Angela who comments, who seems to know everything under the sun?
Yes.
She never jumps on the call. So I ran it by her, and she said that the article is fake. And I agree, it's fake. There isn't a source for it. There wasn't a source for it like there was for the isolation camps with the Hellier guy in the Ontario Parliament. Yeah. But everything on that article is happening almost to the letter in the order that it is presented. So far, everything is happening. And I think UBI is well underway. And notice that they're not talking about it at all. And recently, Trudeau was like, oh, I'm not seeing UBI on the table. That's a tactic they're playing on all the time. They make it seem like they don't want it.
Yes. Reverse psychology.
They're like, oh, we have to do this now. They're going to do this with UBI. They're going to do this with negative interest rates, and they're doing it with shutting down the airport. So notice recently, Mike, what happened with this guy who went on vacation. Did you pay attention to that story at all?
The guy that went to St. Bart's?
Yes, that's right. So everyone is like, how dare he, how irresponsible that is and stuff. And then what happened a few days later, they're tightening the security at the airport. They implemented this self-test and the test for people coming into Canada. And now they're going to restrict travel, and they're going to start guilt tripping everyone who wants to travel.
We're going to lose all our doctors and nurses.
Yeah, but I think they're good with that, because I think they want to shrink the economy.
So let me ask you this question that I've asked through the night. Do you think Bill Gates could do 10 push-ups?
No, I think I can do more push-ups than he does.
Really? But he is the self-appointed health minister of the planet that wants to put dust in the air, with that article I read earlier, to save mankind from global warming. Yeah. But I don't know if he woke up to the memo. It's called climate change now, because now that way you can't challenge it, because the climate does change. But I don't know why he said it was global warming, because Al Gore would be underwater right now in Florida in 2007. But that's probably another timeline that we shouldn't, that happened. That didn't happen in our timeline. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think pollution is real, Mike. I think you can observe pollution. You're not going to take your kids. fishing to a lake that is covered in a...
Yeah, but Florida is not going to go underwater because of pollution.
Well, no, I don't think that's a good theory at all. You know, and that's the thing about climate change is that it's a theory, whereas, they don't, they don't deal in observables. They like to deal in these intangible things so that they can sort of scare you with it. And also, the people who are implementing 5G, they want to tell us that they care about the environment and, we should trim our lifestyle so that we support the environment. And yet they are rolling out 5G and they sponsor people like Elon Musk, who's going to throw up thousands of satellites in the atmosphere. All of this doesn't support the environment. They don't support the environment. What about these billions of doses of vaccines that they're gonna produce? Does anyone realize how much waste comes out of hospitals and toxic waste and medical waste? These people are not interested in the environment. They don't care about the environment. These are also people who want to castrate your kids and give them chemical castrations. All of this is unnatural, unenvironmental. It doesn't support the environment. They don't care about the environment.
Okay. All right. Well, we're winding down to our third hour and 20 minutes, and I'm falling asleep, and I gotta pee. And
yes, Mike. I thought we'd go over when you called me. I didn't think you were gonna follow up because we were already.
No, I don't have a problem following up. You always add some really, really good stuff to the show. No, Tignim, it's not chemtrails. I brought up the article with this balloon in space, and they want to put these dust particles out in space to reflect the sunlight and encapsulate the Earth under 2.5 feet of snow. We're gonna ruin the Earth ourselves. Never mind global warming, climate change, or ISIL, or whatever the hell the boogeyman is for the week, or if it's COVID, or if it's COVID South Africa Part 2, whatever they want to call it. We're gonna ruin it regardless of all this other crap they're trying to shove down our throats.
Now watch for that cyber attack now.
Okay, well, we're gonna. I'm writing it down. Cyber attack. Layla said so.
Yeah, they've been hinting at that as well. Well, I mean, not really, because Klaus Schwab just went out and talked about it, right? It's not really a hint anymore.
Alan Hallwick is asking in the comments, has anyone here mined Bitcoin and other cryptos? I have. When I had a small cyber cafe, a small internet cafe down in downtown Vancouver. It was one of my businesses that I had down there. And that cyber cafe, at night we would close at 11 p.m. and I would just put all the computers set to mine Bitcoin. And yes,
I'm starting to think that Bitcoin is a religion, not an investment. A lot of people who are into Bitcoin are just, they have this tunnel vision. I'm not saying Alan Howick is like that or others, but it's my impression that people are really, really obsessed with that, and I don't think that's healthy. Like there are several layers going on here. I'm not saying anything about Bitcoin not being a good investment, but it's not the only thing about Bitcoin that's going on.
I'd rather have a suitcase about yay high, yay big, full to the brim of American $100 bills over Bitcoin any day.
For real, Mike?
I'd rather have that than Bitcoin. I'd rather have a suitcase full of money than Bitcoin.
I'd rather have a suitcase full of gold.
No. I'm talking about between the two. I'm saying I'd rather have fiat than Bitcoin.
Really?
I'd rather have fiat.
I don't know about that one. I think fiat is really. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on.
Well, American dollars right now is still legal tender. I could still buy a plane ticket. I could still do stuff.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And
that's what I'm talking about. I'd rather have a bag of money about this big, this wide, filled to the brim with American hundreds, and then take it with me and just like, hey man, put it on a Corvette and just go somewhere and just pay. Just pay for hotels and stuff. It's all legit. Then crypto and bring my laptop with me and say, can I scan this Bitcoin?
Your hard wallet on the hard drive. Yeah. Yeah. Is there a way to compartmentalize that stuff so you can break it down and maybe buy bread instead of a whole house?
I don't know. Well, it depends. If you're in Alabama, you could sell one Bitcoin and buy a house. If you're in Vancouver, you could sell one Bitcoin and buy a parking spot.
Yes. If you're lucky.
And you know what the best part is? The person to your left in Vancouver hates you, and the person to your right hates you, and the rest of the street is abandoned.
That's right. Or there's lots of homeless tents and drug addicts and crime and all of that stuff. How
Pushing
sad.
shopping carts on the street at 3 a.m.
Yeah. I think it was Lord who was telling me that he's seeing a much higher number than before when he was in California. Yeah, I think people are starting to pick this up. There's a few articles about Toronto as well. Homeless people sleeping in the TTC and that being an issue. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think, yeah. And then they're going to gather them in these hotels, and then there's going to be a COVID outbreak. And that's already happening anyway.
Okay.
Okay, Mike.
All right, you take care of yourself. You be good, and we'll talk very soon.
Yes, indeed. You too, Mike. Thank you. Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
night. God
Take
bless
care.
you.
You too. God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that is Layla out in Syria, scoping out the Middle East for us. I want to get Craig Cook on next week. I want to get Tommy back on next week. I want to get 26 Gunter on next week. Okay, guys, I have something important to say. Linny is going to come on next week. Linny Poo has a very important message that she needs to tell us. A major announcement is coming from Linny. So she will be discussing what is happening and a big message.
Do we want more? As one we have the power to set us free. Mike in the night, I stream. Woo! Mike in the night, oh, Mike in the night. So join us in the chat room.
I'll be back.
Join us in the chat room.
Sierra Kana. You're close. You're close. Give them to me. The 12 gauge autoloader. I'll be back.
Guys, thank you for watching. Everyone out there, take care. And if you can't take care, please stay safe.